the pack, which with the overwhelming turnout for the primary tournament, it's just doesn't quite get you in. But so no, they're solid. But Dr. JayPhd, yep, it looks like they're off. Both of them starting house and getting a little bit of love out of that house chest. But immediate divergence here. We're seeing mfFylion heading straight for the castle. Oh, okay. Looks like maybe Jay was just looking to kill a guard, maybe get a bomb or something.
He wants the tree pull.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, so both of them going Uncle first, but Dr. J is definitely trying to get some kills in.
Yeah, how do you feel about that Uncle first? It's not really something I tend to do in my runs, but I don't see it a lot in the tournament.
Well, problems always yells at me when people do Uncle first. They're like, oh, but you get the flute, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, wow, yeah, that immediate flute. Okay, well, you know, apparently we don't know anything. Apparently, Uncle first is just the absolute right thing to do.
Yeah, Probs always yells at me because he's like, why would you go to Hyrule Castle twice? You know, just go to the Lost Woods or something like that. But, you know, a lot of people do it. It's just a quick way to maybe find bombs or money real quick and just going about your way, because that's really what you're worried about early on, is not finding enough bombs to do everything in these early chests.
Yeah, Jay killing off a few extra guards before saving and quitting. Going back to house though, which is a little interesting. Usually your top priority when you get that flute is to go sanctuary and go straight to activate that. Looks like mfFylion getting a big swarm of guards here, chucking bushes at him, hoping to maybe boost up the kill counter for the tree pull.
That's not a thing that Dr. J is doing.
Yeah, Jay seems to be mixing up Light and Dark World or something, is trying to go to Hype Cave. It's a little early for that. That's in the Dark World.
We've got some mfFylion fans in chat. Levon Firestorm and Emosaro. Emosaro just finished her race not too long ago on this channel.
Alright, and I didn't quite see what mfFylion saw in the
just a hard piece, I believe.
Okay. And yet Jay looked like maybe he was wanting to go to Mini Moldorn Cave, but then kind of realized no weapon available and only 2 bombs. Not going to be able to get through that, so he's heading to Ice Rod Cave, but gets hit with the crab. Those crabs are one of the deadliest enemies to face in the early game. 2 full hearts of damage, and they move pretty unpredictably, so not uncommon to see runners go down there.
The game doesn't really intend for you to go to Ice Rod Cave until the end anyway, so I guess that's why those crabs are that strong.
Yeah, in vanilla, I believe it's after you finish Eastern Palace, Srahasrahla will hint you at the existence of Ice Rod. And yeah, at that point in the game, you have 5 hearts, you have boots, which boots make the crabs a lot easier to manage. Boots and the sword, you can just kind of charge right through them without too much to worry about. And I think the idea there is the game wants you to get Ice Rod before you go to Desert so that you can use it on the land moves. But, yeah, in the early game in the randomizer, no boots, no sword, only 4 hearts. Those crabs are deadly.
We're both heading into Thieves' Hut, actually. So that's going to be a little sinking for this. And there's stuff on sword.
And a lantern. Wow. A pretty good start.
When you see sword and lamp in Kakariko, you're like, oh, Agaseed.
Yeah, exactly. Aghanim requiring the lantern to get through the dark rooms, and no one wants to do dark room Aga Tower. It's absolute torture. Very few people even know how to do it. I'll be the first to admit I don't know how to do Aghanim Dark Tower. But yeah, you either need the lantern and either just a fighter's sword and a cape, or master sword or better.
I'm gonna map check. I didn't check it. It was that quick.
So yeah, pretty standard village start here. Village being the most easy to reach hotspot for a ton of item locations. You're going to see every racer go here first, or at least very close to first. $300, always nice to find early. Makes checking things like bottle vendor, buying extra bombs really easy.
Yeah, Dr. Jason needed to buy some bombs, and there's like, I believe there is 420 rupees in the well.
That's a good amount of rupees to have available to you.
And you can buy 10 arrows from the bottle vendor for 100 of that.
Ah, good old bottle vendor. Never fails. So we're seeing a chicken house check here. Jay right on the heels of Philion and these checks. Ooh, and there's a glove. Yeah, Jay gonna have to go buy bombs though first.
Maybe we can avoid the Dark World. Or Aghanim to get to Dark World. Still need a lot of things though.
Yeah, Jay looks like he's looking for bombs under bushes, but he's right in front of that shop. And he has the money for it. Yeah, okay, gonna give up and go for buying the bombs.
Yeah, Jay doesn't seem quite familiar with everything.
Yeah, there are a few bushes in the game where you're almost guaranteed to find bombs. In fact, one routing that some players do is there's a bomb just south of the Haunted Grove. There's a bush, one of the bushes in the clump right at the entrance to that has a bomb under it at a 50% chance rate. So you can just head there, grab
bombs
bomb
in here. You can farm. But is he max? I think. Okay, there's.
Yeah, he did pick up some bomb boosters, so he can grab a couple extra bombs just to make sure he has enough, which looks like it. That's what he's doing.
He grabbed one extra bomb. All right. So flute activated for Phylion, and he just checked the library, and I didn't quite see it. People check so quick, man.
Jay has not activated his flute, has he?
No.
Oh, that might be slipping his mind. Because he definitely grabbed that flute at the same time, around the same time as Phylion, but he's walked past the statue. Okay, looks like maybe he's heading, he's going into the chicken house, going to pick up his glove upgrade as Phylion heads up to Death Mountain. Pretty reasonably good call there. Between the flute and the glove, both of those give you access to Death Mountain. There's a reasonably good chance that there's some required items up here.
You only get 2 items right now, which is kind of annoying, but
yeah, you can get the old man item, you can get the item in Spectacle Rock, and you can see the item up on top of Spectacle Rock, but you need the mirror to actually reach it. Okay, Jay going to activate the flute now.
It's some early breadcrumb following from Phylion.
Oh, those dead rocks!
Because normally
and those cabbages are just piling on.
Oh, is he gonna die? Those things are deadly. Oh, okay.
Oh, but the dead rock's blocking his way and he can't go and get a health refill from the old man. He looks like he's just gonna press on. Hope he avoids the cabbages.
Yeah, normally you would see people go to Mini Moldorm Cave and all that, because maybe you find the hookshot or the mirror and you can do some more of this before you come up here. Yeah, because there's a lot of stages, a lot of items that can get you more access up here.
There's something worth adding about that kind of scary situation with the Dead Rocks. It's actually a lot less scary than you might think it is, because if you die with the old man in tow, it actually just puts you right back in the cave where you found him. So it's just a few seconds lost. You still want to avoid it, but it's actually not as terrible as you might think it would be.
Alright, gonna go grab a full heart container. That's reasonable, especially early on.
Yeah, with, considering what just happened to Phylion, with that absolute pile-on between the Dead Rocks and the cabbages and almost, straight up murdering him, I think it's totally fair to go grab that extra heart container.
I grab full hearts because my preferred strats are mashing really hard at stuff and taking a bunch of hits and then just drinking potions.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Because why would I get good if I can just... brute force it.
It looks like Jay getting some kills here, maybe for Street Pole. Getting the, I've actually never seen that dialogue box in the randomizer about pulling the fake Master Swords. Getting called a fool for it.
Oh, blue mail.
That's gonna go well with that extra heart container he just picked up.
I'm sure he's feeling a lot happier now with his health situation.
Yeah, 5 hearts, not too great. 5 hearts, blue mail, yeah, that's gonna keep you through most of the early game.
And doesn't look like there's a whole lot of threat of going to the Dark World immediately anyway.
Oh, and there's a Master Sword, so Aghanim is now an option. But
it would only get you the pyramid.
every player is going to avoid doing that until they absolutely need to, because Aghanim Tower is a nice lengthy dungeon with no items in it. You're just, you know, investing a few minutes in to get Dark World access. So we're probably going to see every other option exhausted before he heads up there.
I mean, it's only going to get you the pyramid item, so unless that's the Moon Pearl, there's really nothing to do for. And then if you find a Moon Pearl now, you're still going to be looking for either the glove or the hammer to avoid it, so you'll just exhaust everything you can do.
Faylion getting hit with the 1-2 combo, Moldorm knocking him into the pit. Fortunately, those mail upgrades do
hammer.
Ooh, nice hammer. Those mail upgrades do not reduce the damage from falling into pits, so a little bit low health, but getting some parts. And yeah, some good pickups in the mini Moldorm cave here. Fire Rod, hammer. Between that hammer and the glove, he almost has Dark World access. He just needs the Moon Pearl to, as the game says, retain his heroic figure.
And the hammer means unless the Moon Pearl is on Pyramid, you don't have to do Aga, because now you have access to the whole Dark World once you get the Moon Pearl.
Yeah. Moon Pearl on the Pyramid Ledge, or something more roundabout, like Mitts on the Pyramid Ledge into the Pearl being at Checkerboard Cave. Had that before.
And see what he got.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see what Faylion picked up there. Unfortunate bit of lag, but
Dr. J will be getting his hammer and fire rod soon, so not too. Some of those early adventures, maybe trying to go to Ice Rod early, kind of holding him back. Phylion's going to check the back of Escape, and then probably the front after the word with the Master Sword.
Yeah, Jay picking up the hammer and the fire rod there. Good piece of equipment to have. And yeah, Faylion making a beeline for the back of Escape. It's a good place to check as soon as you get the glove upgrade, so yeah, it's actually been a little bit delayed, but let's see what we get here. Bombs, a burrito, and a small key. So the small key means he can backtrack all the way to the cross room, pick up one more chest before he heads out.
And getting that map means he has to check the rest of the chests in Hyrule Castle. Sometimes you can avoid checking all the chests, because you can know that there's a map left, or a key left.
Jay looking like he maybe wanted to buy potions or something, but no empty bottles to fill.
He's done this in a kind of a roundabout way. Maybe he just wants to avoid the
cabbages.
Rocks, yeah.
Ooh, boots in the cross room. That's a pretty big find.
All right, save and quit to, I guess, Sanctuary to go check. No? Okay, he's gonna flute somewhere. I like to check those Bonk Rocks right away because I forget about them. I forget about them, and if boots show up, that probably just means there's something on the Torch and Desert that you need. But sometimes it means there's something there. Oh, okay. Time to fake Flipper.
Oh, or not fake Flipper. I guess Flippers were in Ice Rod Cave?
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay. I was about to comment, like, if he's fake Flippering, he's going about it the wrong way, but, yeah, okay, so that's Flippers in Ice Rod Cave, which, yeah, Jay missed out on with that early death of the crab, unfortunately. Those early Flippers could have given him quite the advantage.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now that he's died on the way there, it looks like he's blown it off.
So there's a quick payout. You're probably going to also see going back to 8 and then warping to the Waterfall Ferry and checking Zora, because there's
he's got those $500, so taking that whirlpool over to the Zora area, definitely a worthwhile thing to do here. There's 2 items in the Waterfall Cave. For those who maybe haven't played Randomizer recently, V26 added 2 items in the Waterfall Ferry. So there's those, there's the Zora Ledge, and there's the $500 for the item from Old Fishface himself. So yeah, definitely gonna head straight right there.
Quicker or is fluting better?
I think it might have been quicker to go stand in the shallow water right outside of Hobo, flute over to 8, and then walk over and swim over. It's kind of tough. It's tough to say. I'm not sure exactly. And red boomerang and hook shot out of Waterfall Ferry.
So now the hookshot gets you the rest of Death Mountain, which means you get East Death Mountain and you get Hera, which Hera is a crystal, so.
Yeah, that's a pretty big find for Phylion. So I think, yeah, Phylion definitely with a bit of an early adventure. Didn't quite see that ledge item as you walked past it.
3 bombs.
Okay, yeah, so that's nothing worthwhile, but gonna be clearing out this entire area while he's here. We'll see if Zora has just a life lesson or something worthwhile. And oh, that is the harshest of life lessons. Doesn't get much worse than that.
Once those flippers pay off.
Yeah, he deserves that. He really deserves that.
Once those flippers pay off for the hook shot, it's probably the end of that chain. Like, that's probably why you had the flippers early. But, I mean, you gotta check while you're here. And there's a lot of money in the pool, so you're gonna be fine.
But yeah, as you were just talking about, hookshot does give access to the rest of Death Mountain, and sure enough, Phylion immediately saving and quitting and going back to Death Mountain to access that east side.
This probably means Moon Pearl and Hera, or at least on this side of Death Mountain. That's the next big thing you're looking for. That'll crack the seed open. Otherwise, he's gonna have to head to Sahasrahla and Eastern. I think that's really his last bit of Light World.
Yeah, there's those. He still hasn't checked those bonk rocks.
Oh, or Hyrule Castle either. He hasn't gone into, which we're seeing Dr. J do right now.
Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, so yeah, lots of items over in East Death Mountain here. 7 items in this cave alone. We're about to see if there's any value in here. Up there, as you were calling it, there's the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, it tends to show up here. You tend to get some sort of glove plus some sort of access over here, and that's where the pearl will be.
Yeah, that's all that's in this cave, despite the 7 items. Phylion trying to set up the bomb jump to save a little time. You can bomb jump right across that pit, but accidentally over-adjusting, just falling right into the pit, so gonna have to take a short walk outside and get himself back up.
Everybody misses that.
Jay,
that jump now and then.
About to check the Zelda chest.
I don't think you got much in here. No.
It's $20. No. Nothing really.
Yeah, everything's on Death Mountain, so he has to go. He's gonna walk out of here?
I think this is a point where you want to save and quit. Like, even if you're wanting to just go to the back of Escape, if you can't Death Warp easily, which, yeah, that's obviously outside of his reach, 5.5 hearts and blue mail. I think walking back from the house would probably be faster here.
Yeah, unfortunately he doesn't have the boots or the flippers. He's actually really kind of way behind.
But assuming that we're interpreting this correctly, and he's heading for the like the sewers for the crossroom, he is about to pick those boots up, so that'll help speed up his run a little bit.
Yeah, but he won't be able to continue.
Yeah, that is true.
He'll be locked out in the sewers.
Yeah, with that key in the back 3 chests, that means that the only way to those back 3 chests is through the graveyard drop and Bombos pick up for Phylion.
Yeah, it's probably not important.
Yeah, it could be, could be required for Meyer and Turtle Rock. Might not be. If nothing else, it does make for an easier Cold Stare fight in the Ice Palace.
It's usually the last medallion you find that's required anyway.
Okay, yeah, Dr. J gonna head for the back of the throne room here, heading for that boots. So I'm sure we'll be happy to see those.
Maybe Dr. J's just not quite familiar with open, like, because this is kind of a sort of the standard route that you would take. Just hasn't really kind of like thought about doing, oh, I can save and quit here and get to escape from the back. It'll be faster.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, it would be either you go into the back and there's no key there, and then the key is in the crossroom right here, or okay, it looks like he hasn't even considered the locked door there, heading up for that to go for the back and realizing, oh yeah, No key, can't reach it. And now he's walking back out again.
Escape is kind of a sticky point for newer people. Like when you just start open mode, you're like, oh, how do I do escape? How do I even route it in? It's hard to tell when to go do it and how exactly you're going to approach it. That's Harridan. That was a pretty good Moldorm fight.
Yeah, not quite perfect. We saw some speedy Moldorm there, which you never want to see. The fast Moldorm phase is really scary. And yeah, I don't think Jay can even walk out here. I think the door locks in here when you, yeah, like he really needs to save and quit.
Alright, down to the basement for a cutscene.
Yeah, gotta be careful with this this basement setup though, because you can really easily, as I learned in a race the other day, you can really easily soft lock yourself on these blocks. But yeah, finally I'm getting a safe positioning here. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so yeah, Jay, I think finally understanding that he's stuck there. He has to save and quit.
It looks like he's gonna check the back of Escape now, and then he's gonna make his way over to Ice. It might be a while before he makes his way to Ice Red Cave. And he can't fake Flipper to the Waterfall Ferry, which is where he needs to go to get the hook shot. He doesn't know how to get in here. This will work too, but it's slower.
Yeah, Jay may be looking like he's maybe a little bit newer to the open mode races, which I mean, for a long time, this, standard was the standard. So yeah, if you haven't played a ton of open yet, then knowing how to deal with everything in Escape and how to route it in can be a little tricky.
Yeah, there's nothing back here either, so he's finally finished all of Escape. And not saving and quitting here either. He's gonna walk out to the back of Sanctuary. Alright, it looks like mfFylion is gonna head to Dark World.
Yeah, mfFylion found the second item in Hera Basement. It was a nice Ruby Hoard, 300 extra bucks.
Oh yeah, new players are important. My first open seed, I didn't know what the hell I was doing either. So I mean, this is secondary tournament. I didn't see Dr. J have any SRL experience or racing the qualifiers, so it was hard to see. But I mean, this is for everybody. So if people want to race, that's fine. And he's doing fine aside from just not knowing a few things. He's not playing badly. He's not messing stuff up. All right, we got blue at Skull, green at Meyer, and 5 is at T-Rock. I didn't know where 6 was. Oh, Turk Tower.
Yeah, so of course that early flute was very likely not a required flute. I mean, there could still be something in the Meyer area, but...
Well, you're going to need the mirror, so that might be your desert access. The book might be not anywhere.
Yeah, that is true. Flute could still be a component to accessing desert if the book is somewhere in the late game, like Ganon's Tower.
Following with Dependent Skull play. I love this. Go on the Skullwoods early.
Yeah, Skullwoods can have some valuable stuff in the front. 3 bombs not being one of those valuable things, but that does at least eliminate some possibilities, finding that early item.
Sometimes you get really lucky and you just get like 2 things really quickly, and
yeah, there's the other item. So
he can't walk out. You gotta go grab the key in the Gyptos room and then walk out that way. You can go route in Bumper Cave right now, which I think is what he's gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. That cape is just screaming for Bumper Cave. You're right next to it now, and that cape is obviously gonna give you access to it. So I think he's probably gonna walk out and head to the east to go check that.
They had a race today where Skullwoods had both the Fire Rod and the lamp. It was Pendant Skull too.
Okay, and Jay paying Zora off for that extremely harsh life lesson. But yeah, walked in here without flippers, so he's not going to be able to go into that waterfall cave and pick up his hook shot. And more importantly, the red boomerang, the most valued item for every player.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Ice Red Cave was the check, and he tried to go there early, but it's not.
And yeah, it's so easy to, like, when there's that one distant item location that you die on the way to just be like, ugh. Yeah, that's a lot of time lost. You know, screw that place. I'm not gonna go back there.
Yeah, a lot of people.
It probably doesn't have anything anyway. But in this case,
I'm gonna check Agina and check the desert ledge. And we're getting Felion doing Village and Outcast.
Didn't actually move up high enough to see what was on the desert ledge there. Just going straight to Agina's cave.
Yeah, a lot of people will route in Ice Rod Cave once they find the flute or the boots or something like that. So it won't take him long to probably realize he has to go back there and get his flippers.
Meanwhile,
just kind of unfortunate that he's putting it off.
Yeah, Felion, meanwhile, entering Thieves Town here. Thieves Town always a good play, at least almost always. With Thieves Town having such a low requirement to clear it, you just have to be able to breach the Dark World, basically, and you can do Thieves Town. And being pretty quick dungeon on top of that with 4 items, Thieves Town is almost always a very valuable play. Very often, even when it's pendant.
Yeah, sometimes the game wants you to come in here with like green mail and 4 hearts, but he's healthy and he's got blue mail.
Yeah, blue mail, 10 hearts. This is,
and the cape too. The cape can make
yeah, and the cape can make for a very trivial blind fight.
He's heading to Eastern and then probably gonna check Sahasrara after.
Yeah, and that hammer on top of it, of course, there is the big chest in the basement of Thieves Town, which requires the hammer. That is the one thing you gotta be mindful of when you're entering Thieves Town.
Yeah, some people don't really like going into there without the hammer, or that they might like check the front 4 and then get out and then come back with the hammer later.
Yeah, interesting early Eastern play here. We'll see if it pays out. Going into Eastern without the bow can be a little bit risky, but who knows? We could be looking at a vanilla bow. Might pay off big for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, the early progression is not here. He's probably looking for something, but we know it's behind the flippers, and then it's, you know, that leads to Hookshot, and that leads to Death Mountain, which leads to Moon Pearl.
Yeah, so yeah, that line of progression is kind of...
And everything relies on Ice Rod Cave. You can't, yeah, you can't even fake Flipper to get the Hookshot because the Moon Pearl's behind it. You could Jesus Walk there, but that is kind of a niche trick that not many people have down yet. Dark Link Best Sprite. How do you feel about that, Spooty?
I just use the classic personally. But I mean, there's so much variety. I haven't even really explored all the options personally.
Well, Dark Link's good because you still have the same like sprite size, right? You just
yeah, it's a decent choice for if you don't want to relearn any like visual cues for those tricky you know, pixel perfect tricks like bomb jumps and such. You still got essentially the same cues, just in a different color.
I learned the bomb jumps on Wizrobe before I learned them on Link, so I just use Wizrobe. I was like, oh, Wizrobe, and then like, oh, bomb jumps, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm learning them here, so now I got them.
So far, nothing of value in this Eastern.
He's down to... Finally, he's down to 2.5 hearts. He ran into one of those red dudes. I'm sure people know the names of them, but I don't.
I can't. People
start with a Z or something, like a Zazax or something like that.
And a shield in the big chest. That's nothing too great.
Yeah, it's a plastic shield. Just got it from Walmart.
Now, with a couple upgrades, though, it can help trivialize some of the later game stuff, like Laser Hall.
2.5 hearts! Ooh, and Samaria!
There's Kane. Always a good thing to find. Especially with that Turtle Rock being crystal, you know you need that. So yeah, as I was saying, Thieves Town, almost always a good play, and definitely no exception here. But yeah, coming into the blind fight with really low health, we see that swap to the the cape, excuse me, to hopefully trivialize this a little bit, give him a little bit of breathing room.
As long as he gets through the first phase, you should be okay. And there's the first phase done already, so just dodge these shots and put the cape on.
Yeah, the cape does actually chew through magic pretty quickly, but yeah, pretty good first couple of cycles there. Yeah, gonna turn the cape on for the last phase, and down he goes.
I'm a master at using the cape to trivialize fights because I can't beat them otherwise. Oh, it's the
wow! Wow, this Thieves Town is stacked.
Oh, that's dirty. That's really dirty.
Yeah, finally I'm looking for at a really early lead here. Lots of gear here, and Dr. J is continuing on in Eastern despite the fact that
he doesn't have
no bow, not gonna be able to finish it.
He's gonna realize when he gets to the red mimic that he can't complete it, and he'll have to back out. Or maybe he just wants the money back here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, maybe going for the money cave here. He is a little bit low on funds, so you know, maybe he wants a little bit of security and potion money or something.
Yeah, I do want to comment that this seed has actually been pretty fast. If you do go to Ice Rod Cave early, which Phylion did. I mean, having the flute and boots kind of early meant that it was not hard to go do. But yeah, that quickly led to Moon Pearl, and Thieves Town had the goods, so now you can go over to Pod. But he's probably going to actually just tour the south real quick and then go to Hype Cave before heading to Pod.
Alright, so yeah, Lavin's asking what we need for the for go mode from here, and looking at Phylion's inventory currently, I think we're just looking at
Mirror or Ice Rod?
Yeah, either mirror or book to get into desert, and then Ice Rod.
Mirror is also needed for
another medallion for getting into Turtle Rock. But oh yeah, mirror is needed for Swamp. Yeah, Swamp is a crystal here, so does need mirror for Swamp.
Oh my God, this is Phylion's having the race of his life, and
yeah, unfortunately,
Dr. J just hasn't gone to Ice Rod Cave yet to find where he has to go.
Yeah, that unfortunate death on the way to Ice Rod Cave is just punishing Jay to no end here. He really needs to make his way there. Gonna pick up the bug net for safety off this library shelf.
I always forget that the mitts are required for go mode, because it's like, oh, you got close. That's what you need. The item is filled. There's no need for an upgrade to it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We are.
I'm sure he would also like to have a sword and silvers, but
technically not required. Although the logic does always, I believe the logic does consider silvers a required item. Although, you know, considering that it's always, again, and you know, you're gonna be able to find them somewhere.
Here we go, go mode right past them in Turtle Rock. It's when Ganon says, "Did you find?" Oh, there's the Ice Rod.
There's the Ice Rod. So that's one of the 3 to 4 pieces that we need down, depending on whether we need book to get into desert. Could be something like mirror in desert.
Yeah. Plus, I might need medallions. Pyramid check, and then probably Pod, but maybe he'll check Catfish too.
You're just looking to tank up here, doing race game for a piece of heart.
Oh, he's going to Ice Rod.
Oh yeah, looks like he's in there. Okay, that's great for Jay.
Yeah, everything's gonna fall into place after that.
He's been holding up the works for him for from the vast majority of this race. He like tried to go here, I think only like 3 minutes in, and just got crabbed. But
yeah, he went to Uncle, and then he save and quit, and then he went here and died. I actually was on Pyramid. I was so excited that Dr. J was getting the flippers that I forgot to see what Phylion got on the Pyramid.
He just skipped it, so yeah, I missed what it was too, but he did just jump down the ledges, so must not have been anything. Alright, and yeah, finally I'm gonna head for Palace of Darkness here. Definitely a good play. Palace of Darkness being a pretty valuable dungeon with 5 items to be found in it.
It's crystal, you can clear it completely, and you know, you just got the bow, so it's pointing at Pod. It's really the last big cache of items that he has. So you're probably gonna see mitts in here, or mitts coming from something you get here.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping for, that's for sure.
I guess you can get Mirror, too. Mirror seems a little bit more likely. That'll probably get you in the swamp. Okay, Dr. J went to Hobo first, and now he's trying to get back into the water.
He's heading for Hobo first, yeah. Okay, I think fluting to 8 would have been a little bit better than fluting to 5, but does get here eventually. Gonna be disappointed by Hobo, but yeah, I can swing around to back to the warp whirlpool after this and go check. And geez, you are just calling these shots like nothing.
Yeah, you know how 26 is. Yeah, I almost never see that chest have an item. That's almost always a small key.
Well, yeah, the way the way the item generation works, it's going to always leave the dungeon such that they will always be completable no matter how you approach them. And with the way Pod is laid out,
oh, there's a death.
That almost looked intentional. Like he walked straight for that anti-fairy. I'm thinking he wants to just suicide for a health refill here.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, with House of Darkness, there are locked doors absolutely everywhere. There are, I think it's like 5. It's 4 or 5, I think, small keys in
6
chests.
small keys.
6. Okay, wow. So more than I thought. But yeah, with the logic chests. Always dictating that every item will be obtainable and that every dungeon will be completable. Almost all those small keys have to be in the front to make sure that the dungeon is completable, regardless of the order you go for those chests. So, yeah, very uncommon that you find many items in the front.
There's 2 locked doors right at the beginning, so you have to hop in there. So they have to give you the keys, and then the rest is bow lock, basically. Yeah,
in fact, if you don't have bow coming into Palace of Darkness, and that very first chest on the left side is not a key, you're actually bow locked immediately right there on the spot, and you can't go any further.
Dr. J came back up here?
He's gonna definitely just a little bit of unfamiliarity here, jumping into the wrong cave to get into Spectacle Rock. I think he was wanting that heart container.
I don't think he turned around and went into the waterfall, and now he's trying to figure out where to go. I forgot about it. I wonder if he's unfamiliar with 26 and doesn't realize that the waterfall fairy has something.
Yeah, again, he didn't participate in any of the qualifier races, as far as I know, for the primary tournament. So it could be that he is not familiar with newer logics. So maybe, or maybe the waterfall fairy just slipped his mind for now. Hopefully, we'll see him go check that location sooner or later.
Yeah, it's easy to slip your mind if you haven't played a bunch of V26 seeds or you don't have like an updated tracker or something like that.
And yeah, Nimman's absolutely right in chat there. You can lock yourself out of a chest that just contains another small key. You are allowed to lock yourself out that way.
Oh, it's very likely in Pod with the very top chest. Normally has a small. Sometimes it has a small key.
Yeah, if there's a small key in that spike room that Phylion just checked, or in that the vanilla big key chest, the one that overhangs that kind of main lobby area, then you can lock yourself out of that permanently. But obviously, it's just paying a key to, spending a key to earn a key, so you're not missing out on anything. I don't think we've seen anything else other than those mitts so far. Making his way backwards through Dark Maze. Didn't check the big chest.
Does he have the big key? He went down. Is he gonna hammer jump? No? Okay. Did he find all the items?
Yeah, it might be that because I haven't been counting the items he's been finding.
Actually, that would probably make the most sense. Yeah, that would make the most sense. That he found all the items.
Or no, I think he didn't have the big key. I think it's there.
That's this is vanilla, right?
Yeah, that's where the big key is in vanilla.
Yeah, T-Rocky can also do that. A lot of times people will steal the key in Turtle Rock before the Vanilla Big Key Island, and then just not go in that door if they're in go mode.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the case. It's pretty rare that you see that chest being opened if you're in go mode at all, because yeah, that is the last possible place the big key can be, though. So sometimes you're forced to go for that chest anyway. But that's Turtle Rock. That's a little ways off from where we are right now.
Dr. J is working on screens I don't ever really see in randomizer runs. He's exploring. Oh, you get to Hyrule Castle this way. I didn't even know that.
I'm not quite sure what his goal is here. Heading back to Hyrule Castle, I think he might think Moon Pearl is on the Pyramid Ledge and is heading for Aghanim.
Oh, yeah, because he...
Yeah, he's forgetting about the Waterfall Fairy, which is really unfortunate, because this is just going to lead him to the Pyramid Ledge, which had some sort of junk that Phylion turned his nose up at. I didn't see what it was, but he didn't get it, so we can be confident that it's nothing worthwhile.
This is the worst feeling. You do Aga and you realize I didn't have to do Aga.
And it's the worst feeling when yeah, because as I was talking about before, this is a long dungeon for pretty much no benefit, so you don't do it unless you've exhausted all your other options. This play to Aghanim's Tower. Yeah. This play to Aghanim's Tower tells me that he thinks he has no other options but to do Aghanim. Because you don't do Aghanim with no Moon Pearl unless you're convinced that that Moon Pearl is on the ledge.
Yeah, he either doesn't know about Waterfall or he just forgot that it's there. I mean, there's some signs he's unfamiliar with either open mode or just randomizer in general.
And I mean, I've seen Waterfall Fairy get even really experienced randomizer racers who just missed the memo back when V26 first rolled out. It's slipping my mind who it was, but someone who I saw in races all the time forfeited after like 2 hours of searching just because he needed to find Book in the Waterfall Fairy to get Bow off the Ether tablet. And he spent hours just several minutes just staring at the map going, okay, what did I forget? What did I forget? And just ultimately being like, I didn't forget anything. This game's busted.
It actually sounds like TTH a little bit.
I don't think it was TH, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was definitely someone who is pretty well versed. But yeah, just if you just missed that V26 update and don't know those 2 extra chests are there, it can really bite you.
All right, pod's down. Where do you head now? You got Dark Death Mountain open. You can maybe see what Turtle Rock is. Maybe you can go into Turtle Rock. You can go check the Mire area. You can get into desert. There's no mirror yet. But you can go check the Mire area, or you can do Ice Palace. So a lot of options now. It's going to be trying to track down the mirror and any medallions that's left, basically.
And since we didn't have Mitts until he went into that pod, we don't know what Turtle Rock wants just yet. You need Mitts to be able to access pretty much all of Dark World Death Mountain. The only thing you can get to without those Mitts is the Spike Cave.
You need both these boot spots now with the Mitts.
There's a big bomb booster. You can carry all the bombs now.
Dr. J's doing the best he can in this tower. Man, I hate this tower.
Yeah, hopefully for his sake, hopefully for his sake, he gets a low blue ball count on Aghanim, because the last thing we'd want to see is him getting hung up on the fight with an 8 blue ball fight or something.
Wow, red bottle.
Sick kid available. I think that's his first bottle. So could potentially go check Sick Kid now.
I think that's where he's headed.
Yeah, fluting over to the village now to go turn that in.
Nope, he's gonna check Mire. He still has Nagina, which was nothing, but he will.
That desert ledge also nothing of value there.
Does it get his heart? Oh, Dr. J found a bottle, apparently.
Yeah, looks like he's got one. About to come up on this Aghanim fight. Unfortunately, he's going to be really disappointed after he finishes it, but we'll at least narrow his options down.
Alright, how many blue balls are you thinking?
I'm really hoping for 0. You know, you hate to see racers get hung up on a long Aghanim when it's not even required.
He's assuming Moon Pearl's on the pyramid because he forgot about Waterfall Fairy, which has the hook shot, which leads to the Moon Pearl. Now there's already 1 blue ball. Yeah, the pyramid does not have the Moon Pearl. It just has 20 bucks.
Oh, man. No! We've got worst possible Aghanims thus far. 2 blue balls. Okay, there's 1. So we're not going to see a 15 blue ball, at least. We can, and that is Bombos for Meyer, so he can go in, he can clear Meyer here.
It's Pendant Meyer, though.
Does he want to? That's a green Pendant Meyer. So.
Oh, Cheeto Stick.
Good old Tempered Sword and a Bomb Booster. Okay, yeah, looks like he was contemplating for a second maybe going into Meyer here, which I would not fault him for doing that. That is green Pendant Meyer, so it is worth 3 items in there, and he can full clear it.
Yeah, but you still got Darkness Mountain Dew, and maybe you get the T-Rock as well, and those are, you know, the T-Rock's a crystal. So
and I looked away, and I look back to Jay, and I see he's getting another blue ball. This is looking like a long fight. Okay, there we go. End of the fight.
He's not gonna know what to do.
And yeah, gonna head for that pyramid ledge and see something he's not gonna be too happy about.
It's red, but it's not the red he wants.
Yep, that is a big 20.
Oh, we're going to ice play.
And yeah, I think not immediately realizing that yeah, without Moon Pearl being there's nothing he can do in the Dark World here. Okay, is it at least gonna map and see what the crystal and pendant distribution is? That's a good idea.
Yeah, he's just gonna taking the tour as a bunny.
Or is he gonna go for like? Does that even work? Can you like die, save and continue in Pod as Bunny and get revived as Link? Does that work that way? Well, it looks like that's not what he has in mind at any rate. He's saving and quitting and going back to Sanctuary here.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe he's gonna go. Oh, maybe he's gonna. He just realized. Well, no.
I think he's maybe convinced that he's like just completely forgetting that there's an item like in this hole or in this cave or something, and it's just kind of yeah, unfortunately getting a little flustered, just not sure where he needs to head next. And another little side effect of clearing Aghanim, you're seeing all these red armor guards here. It's kind of unfortunate they did not report Aghanim because beating Aghanim sets a flag in the light world that makes the enemy spawns in it much denser and with tougher enemies. Meanwhile, Fyllion making his way through this Ice Palace, seeing an Ice Palace bomb jump here. Flawlessly done.
Better than I can do. I would have fallen off around 3 times and missed 2 jumps, and then gotten the 3rd jump and then fallen off. That's my standard play. No one else.
Did Fyllion forget to grab the jelly?
Yeah, I thought that he skipped the jelly key. So that's gonna bite him.
I mean, he likely can still navigate all his way through, but it's going to limit his options. With that extra key, he could go straight right, coming up here in this cross room, save him the trip down and across the jellyfish room.
I realized now.
Just realized it that Yeah, giving that locked door a little bit of a hug.
It seems as though Dr. J has realized he needs to go to some ferry, but he is not sure which ferry it is, because we've seen him go to different ferries now. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is good. He's just gonna clear it, and he's gonna come back later. Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, he's going through here. He's gonna hit up the. Gonna go through the room, get the small key on the right here, and then check the chest to the south here. The really inconvenient chest, the ice hole chest, as I like to call it.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was just gonna like, oh, well, I gotta go get the key from the jellies. Might as well just kill this guy now, and then, you know, reset the dungeon.
Yeah, forgetting that small key is really unfortunate. Especially since there wasn't a small key in the Iceman room right above the big chest. It's gonna make his routing a little messy, and 20 bucks out of that. That small key that he grabbed does let him come back up through here and reach the eastern side. So it's a little bit of a roundabout routing, but I think he can get everything from here despite missing the early key, since he did complete that bomb jump.
Yep, it is a Spooty and Jack that you hear. How you doing, Herfy? If you're just joining, Phylion's flying through the seed. He's got everything he needs except the mirror. Meanwhile, Dr. J's having trouble because Dr. J seems to have forgotten about the Waterfall Fairy, which has the hookshot, and that is gating all of their process.
Yeah. Again, you know, I don't know if it's he hasn't played V26 or if it's just completely slipping his mind right now because he, you know, it's easy like when there's a big cluster of items that you would normally collect all at once to be like, oh, I already visited up there. You know, that section's clear, and he was already up there to check the Zora ledge and Zora himself, so it could be really easy to fall into the mindset accidentally of just, oh, you know, I've already been up to Zora's domain, so I've done everything up there. There's nothing else left for me to do up there. But that's definitely not the case here. He's got 2 chests over there, and one of them contains the vital piece of progression that he's missing to advance in the seed.
All right, looks like Phylion's not going to pay for missing that jelly key. He's going to be able to get everything. Got the big key.
As long as he's able to reach this right side where there's another small key waiting, as well as the big key and some of the other items, yeah, he's able to clear it all out.
Yeah, but he did get the big key, and so he's going to check the big chest, and then that should be it for the dungeon. He's got 2 of the items already, just 20 rupees and a heart piece.
Going to use the hookshot to clip through these blocks and check the big chest, and it's the compass, so I believe we're looking at the last item is at Cold Stare, the old cotton candy cloud himself.
Yeah, he's got 1 key here, so that means it's not on Cold Stare, I believe. He's gonna get some magic here, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe looking to refill his magic here. Those are in the bottom pots here. He does have Tempered Sword, which helps a lot with the fight, but
also has Mambo, so he can just use that and spam some fire rod shots.
But yeah, there are 2 small magic pots under these pots right here, so he didn't really need to go to the side room there. These would have given him the full magic for the fight anyway. Yeah, I imagine we'll probably see a Bombo's Pot to break the shell and then Fire Rod for the hits afterwards. It's a little faster to use Fire Rod to break the shell, but that leaves you with no magic for the second base. And he is just going to use Fire Rod.
Hey, he's confident in his Tempered Sword. Let's do this fast.
Ooh. Executing that spin a little too soon. If you spin at the right time, you can clump all of the clouds in the corner and just lay a ton of damage into them. But now they're spread out. This fight's going way off the rails.
And he has to use the red potion because he took a few hugs.
Yeah, gonna need to be careful. Even with Blue Mail, Cold Stare hurts.
The double spin on that one feels good, man.
Yeah, that was a really nicely positioned spin. Okay, now these eyes are overlaid. Gonna let you do a lot of damage to both of them simultaneously. That's what you want to see.
There we go. Are we getting any progression here?
20 bucks.
No.
But hey, you still do get a crystal out of it. It is progression towards the the end game goal. So what other options are we looking at for Phylion here? Meyer's still an option. I don't believe he's been up to Turtle Rock yet to see what it wants.
So yeah, he's got Dark Death Mountain. He's got 6 chests up there. He's got the Blacksmith Chain, and he's got maybe dipping in Turtle Rock. I don't think he's been in Eastern either.
Oh yeah, looks like he's gonna make the play for Eastern. Not a bad call. He can full clear it, so he can get all the items in it with you know, regardless of where they are.
Did he not check Sahasrara first? He might not have checked Sahasrara.
Yeah, has either racer checked Sahasrara?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Dr. J went back there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dr. J was doing Eastern earlier, so I imagine probably checked it while I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I think there's a heart container. Oh yeah, that's where Dr. J got the bottle.
Yeah, I would have been suspicious actually if I hadn't checked Sahasrara. And I'm like, I just need the mirror. It might just be really early, and I haven't checked Sahasrara and Eastern yet.
Yeah, just gonna head straight to the witch and fill up the bottle he just emptied and that new empty bottle. Definitely a very good call, I'd say.
Yeah, he checked Front of Skullwoods. They had 2 items right away: bombs
and the cape. And I believe he did go to... I think he went to check the Bumper Cave after he found that cape, and there wasn't anything there.
I don't remember. It looks like he's gonna go Dark Death Mountain now.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain and potentially Turtle Rock here. Depends what medallion it wants. If it wants Bombos, he can enter and clear that.
The fact that he bought 2 potions tells me that he's willing to go into Turtle Rock if that's where the seed wants to go.
That's probably what that was. What he was thinking there. Just, you know, if I'm going into Turtle Rock at this point, I want to have some safety.
He plans on opening the portal. He's going up here in the light world to open that portal.
Yeah, exactly. You could use the portal at the bottom of Death Mountain. You just kind of walk past it before entering this cave. But without that mirror, you're not going to be able to open Turtle Rock from there. So you definitely want to use the Turtle Rock portal. Thankfully not getting dead drop block there. And yeah, Jay back in Eastern again, thinking maybe he's missed something there. So yeah, Jay is definitely, unfortunately, does not have Waterfall Fairy on the mind, which is where he needs to be going.
And the suspense.
And he did. Oh, it's Ether. Can't do Turtle Rock right now.
I always love like seeing it for the first time going through the portal because there's like, oh, what's it gonna be? It's way better than just like kind of doing the little quick beacon that racers do, and sometimes you can't even see what it was.
But that said, even without the access into Turtle Rock, he does have access to a lot of other items here. There's 4 items in Hookshot Cave right here. There's 2 items over in Super Bunny Cave. And he could also do Spike Cave over to the west.
Another bottle with some green goo in it.
And nothing valuable here. I mean, that green goo is a nice little bit of extra, you know, security. Gives you a little bit of extra resources to play with, but okay, almost forgetting Super Bunny Cave, but going and checking that out. That's another 2 items right there.
Dr. J's all the way in the back of Eastern. He's gonna find out quickly that he can't finish this dungeon in, well, after this room. Yeah,
there's the Red Cyclops. I can't remember their actual in-game name, but you need the bow and arrow. And okay, no, he even knows he just maybe forgot that they were there. He knows that you need the bow and arrow to kill them because opening his menu there, checking for it, and then being don't have the bow.
Igor sounds correct, yeah.
And yeah, sure enough, finally I'm gonna finish off this these Death Mountain overworld locations with Spike Cave. You need to be a little bit cautious when you're using the cape here because there's a little bit of a delay from when you select the cape to when you can actually activate it.
Yeah, he waited to 2.5. He's like, I'm not gonna risk it.
Yeah, if you wait too long, if you wait until you're down in that last half heart, because you want to save your magic. Your magic does not Your magic carries over through save and quits. It doesn't refill or reset to a certain value after a save and quit, but your health does. Your health always sets itself to about halfway full. But yeah, you don't want to use up all your magic in there and then not have magic when you need to light a torch in a dungeon or something. But yeah, when it's cape, you need to be a little careful that you don't push that too far because of that little delay. So where's Phylion heading now?
Yeah, I'm confused about this.
He's heading over to East Death Mountain again, but...
He never did Spiral Cave? He never did Spiral Cave.
Oh yeah, that's right. I think he just save and quit after...
Tower of Hera.
He did save and quit after checking the Hera basement. That's good on him to remember that. We've seen some really high-level players get knocked out just by forgetting Spiral Cave.
Well, even if he already checked
like
it.
These. Oh, did he check it?
Even if he did, it's not that big of a mistake, I guess. No, he didn't.
No, it's there.
And it's the mirror!
A little bit of angry slashes at the chest.
Let's go.
But, I mean, yeah, we saw, I think it was like the semifinals or the quarterfinals, ACMLM forgetting to check Spiral Cave and it having the ice rod the entire time. So even really strong players, who are like absolute, the top of the crowd, everyone, it was banking on him to win the whole tournament. Sometimes they get tripped up by locations like that.
That's true. Yeah.
Still need Ether to get into Turtle Rock, but Mirror does grant access to Desert Palace, which is kind of straightforward.
Luckily, our trusty tracker is there to yell at me whenever I say something stupid. Oh, it's Dr. J!
Oh, Dr. J might have figured it out. He's heading to the east. He's heading to where he needs to be.
Boots not required for desert. Just $50 on the torch.
And that makes clearing out desert a little bit a little bit easier, because now you're only looking for one more item.
Oh, he's going in!
There we go! Jay finally having the breakthrough he's needed for quite some time now. Gonna pick up that red boomerang, and more importantly, the hookshot.
Alright, let's get this seed back on track. Head up to Death Mountain and get your Moon Pearl.
He's got a lot of ground to make up, but it is Randomizer. Almost anything can happen.
Phylion forgetting the mirror there. Like, he got the map in the back and he's like dashing out. He's like, oh yeah, I have the mirror.
Yeah, it's really easy.
Item I just found.
It's really easy when you've gone through like almost an entire run without an item to just forget that you even have it. Like, I definitely catch myself all the time when I get a seed with super late boots that I keep walking everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, I have that fast button now. I should probably press the fast button.
Item at Landmolus.
Gonna be finishing up this desert, and yeah, that just leaves him with Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock to finish. We'll probably see a trip over to Swamp after this is done.
Or he'll go right in. Oh yeah, Myers done. Crystal. So
yeah, I doubt we'll see a Meyer trip before the Swamp trip with the Pendant Dungeon. But I mean, it is possible. It is right here. Like, he is right in the location for Meyer, so if he wants to gamble on that, could go into Meyer.
Awesome.
I don't think it's a terrible play, considering that
Swamp kind of sucks.
Bombos was readily available. Could be that the game's trying to point you into Meyer. Sometimes it's a little hard to read.
Dr. J's about to find his mirror. Do we even need Hookshot? Well, we need it for Swamp. Just because Swamp is a crystal. Yeah,
not only is Hookshot required to clear Swamp, but in the case of this seed, Hookshot was needed to reach East Death Mountain and obtain the Moon Pearl, as well as it turns out, the mirror. And also, unless you can hover, you need it in the Ganon's Tower. Yeah, Hookshot is a pretty important item all around. Unless you can hover, it's required 100% of runs to
with the mirror
clear the final cap after Moldorm 2. And 20 bucks from Landmo, so nothing valuable there.
Are you gonna take a move or? Yeah, okay. Yeah, mirrors on East Death Mountain, so you need Hookshot to go over there.
Yeah, only 2 ways over to East Death Mountain are either with you know, with the Hookshot or with Mirror and Hammer. And obviously, if Mirror's on East Death Mountain, then you have to go the Hookshot route.
It's probably on trying to figure out what to do.
I think he's kind of forgetting where how you reach the items in there. Heading into that shop in East Death Mountain for a brief moment. Could have bought a red potion there if you wanted. Again, yeah. Now Phylion, on the other hand, is
maybe you had to step away for a moment.
Yeah,
something came up or.
But yeah, Jay, okay, making his way back to the item stash in East Death Mountain, which is gonna be where he's gonna find his pearl. And that's going to open this seed wide open for him, because he's going to have full Dark World access then. No, almost full. No Mitts means he can't reach Dark Death Mountain, but Hammer, Power Glove, and Pearl does mean he can reach pretty much all the lower overworld Dark Portals.
Hey, he's stepping into his portal. Is he going to go check Board Cave? Yes.
Yeah, mirror glitching is a bug that you know, a lot of people who grew up with the game as a child may not have known about, because it is a Japanese 1.0 exclusive glitch. It's using the mirror to erase pushable blocks is something you can't do in the like in the US port.
Looks like we're in the swamp now. Checkerboard Cave did not have ether, just an arrow booster.
Yeah, and Swamp Palace definitely the right play here, I would say. 6 items in Swamp Palace, and it's a crystal dungeon here on top of that. There's a ton of value to be had by going there.
We'll see how he handles it. I think the optimal strategy when you're only looking for one item is just to boss rush and hope you run into it, and then do left side afterwards. Because, you just need the one item, so it's quicker for you if you can find it.
Now, something else to consider as well, that with this current setup, that Ether Medallion could be on the pedestal.
Oh, don't do that. Why you gotta bring that up?
Hey, come on! All the viewers always want it. I see it every race. Everyone's like, praying for the pedestal seeds, and it's definitely a possibility here. Every pendant dungeon is fully clearable.
He's still got a lot to worry about until it becomes there. He can dip into mire and he can do the blacksmith stuff.
Yeah, there's still quite a bit of
Eastern. Although we know Eastern doesn't have it, he can clear Eastern.
Still quite a bit of cleanup to do from the mitts back that Phylion grabbed all the way back in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, the other thing is that Mire's that green pendant too, so if he clears Mire looking for ether, he can cash in the green pendant and hope that's that. Dr. J is making his way through Tower of Hera. We know there's an item in the basement, although he doesn't know that yet.
And nothing of value here. I believe the 2 pickups here were 20 bucks and 300 bucks.
Yeah, the next big progress is in Thieves Town and then Pod. That's most of it.
Oh,
he fell on the.
Gotta be careful about that hook shot. That little orbiting spark can nail you if you time it badly. I always like to, if I'm gonna do that hook shot, I always like to nudge up and make sure that I'm not about to get nailed as soon as I cross that gap.
Oh, Bombos is in here. Okay. Well, it might not be important. We don't know that yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bombos was back in the floor chest, which he's already grabbed. So it could be important. We know that it's required for access into Misery Mire. The question is access to Misery Mire necessary? Looks like Phylion's gonna do left side right now.
Yeah, he already found the big key as well. He found big key and a compass.
Which means that he knows there's at least one item on the left side. Making sure not to flood the key. Alright. Kind of taking a little bit of a roundabout route here, but meanwhile, Dr. J fighting Moldorm. Just need 3 Master Sword spins for this. He's 2 spins in, just needs 1 more. And down he goes. Very clean fight.
Lion pull pedestal hype. Yeah, there's no book. We don't know if the book's going to show up anytime soon. I mean, there's... We said swamp. After swamp, there's mire and there's blacksmith. So if nothing shows up afterwards, then you just kind of know you have to... It's on the pedestal. Because everything else is in Turtle Rock at this point. He's also got the mirror spots he hasn't checked. South Grove and Cliff Cave. He did check Checkerboard.
Yeah, Checkerboard Cave not being anything valuable, but yeah, still a little more cleanup to do with that mirror.
Dr. J is heading down to the basement to get his 300 rupees.
And needs to move that pot to be able to fire a sword beam over there. And got hit with the tile, so lost his sword beam. So it's just going to use the boomerang and yeah, there you go. Get yourself nice and safe on that block.
Falion found 40 bucks on the left side. So I think that's 3 items in Swamp already.
Yeah, it seems
bombs
right.
in the bottom chest.
Yeah, just about done with Swamp here. Just needs to head to the back and check a few more chests, but we'll know soon enough whether Swamp holds go mode or not.
Dr. J's finally done with Hera. Basement takes forever, man. It's
Yeah, that tile room, I mean, there's a reason that the tile room in Ganon's tower is always the last place to check the key. Those tile rooms are slow. You don't want to have to do them unless you can avoid it. But with an item being in that basement chest, Dr. J, you know...
We're going to see the runners in the same dungeon. Looks like Dr. J is heading to Swamp, because he found the mirror a lot faster than Filion did, because he didn't forget about Spiral Cave.
Yeah, finally I'm just neglecting Spiral Cave for so long, unfortunately. Yeah, kind of delaying a little progression for him for quite some time, but...
Item at Argus.
Yeah, the last place in here that there could be anything of value, we'll see very shortly whether it is. Can make pretty short work of him with that tempered sword.
It's always nice to have Tempered on this fight, because when I have Master Sword on this fight, I just cry.
Oh, what about when you have Fighter Sword?
Then I don't come in here.
I can't blame you. Fighter Sword doesn't deal any damage to Argus, so you have to constantly menu back and forth, back to the hammer to be able to crush the fluff bits. And that's a piece of heart from Argus, so...
Yeah, I'll do hammer strats, but then I'll cry harder.
So yeah, that's nothing out of Swamp, I believe. So yeah, I think there's a few overworld locations left that can be cleaned up. The mirror location, a few mirror and mid-space locations, as well as Mire, and yeah, that's about it. We're rapidly closing in on on where this ether could possibly be. Looks like finally I'm going to make the play for Eastern Palace. Has not been in there yet.
It's not Ether. Ether's not in here. We saw Dr. J go in here earlier. I don't think there's anything of any value.
I'm trying to remember if Jay found all 3 items in here, or if there's an item at Armos.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it's at Armos.
Well, we'll see very shortly, because, you know, Phylion with that bow does have the ability to full clear it, unlike what happened with Jay when he came in early.
He's also got to be suspicious that this is a pedestal seed, too, at this point, so he might as well just clear it out.
Yeah, I think, if I'm in Phylion shoes, even if I find all 3 items early on in Eastern, I think I'm full clearing it.
He's gonna choose to do this over Meyer. I would have done Meyer first because you did get Bombos and it's green pendant.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm mighty suspicious of Meyer this seed with that early Bombos being accessible and Meyer requiring it. Like, yeah, it's a pendant dungeon, but you do kind of have to wonder if the seed's trying to point you there, or if it's just, you know, random chance that it put Bombos early. It's part of the fun of Randomizer, trying to read, you know, what are the breadcrumbs and what are just kind of red herrings that just kind of happen randomly.
Yeah,
okay, and I
the key is on the right side, so yeah.
I think we did see map and compass out of the second and the third chests, which means that there's an item in Armos.
All right, so yeah, there could be something here. If not, it's a pendant, and maybe it's on the pedestal.
Well, could be pedestal, or, you know, Meyer is still worth 3 items since it is the green pendant. 2 items inside Meyer itself, and that green pendant is worth some sort of special prize when you talk to Sarashwala. Gives you a nice little gift. Usually it's trash, but sometimes it's something handy.
Wish he would tell you. I know he doesn't in the base game, but, you know.
That's big key out of the vanilla location there.
Dr. J is about to collect his $40 from these left side swamp chests.
Right, 40 is a lot of dollars.
Actually, a soft flag? Did he? I don't think he did. Did he flood the key? No, I'm pretty sure he picked the key up. He doesn't have. He didn't pick up. I don't think he picked up the key from the hookshot spot. He didn't hookshot in the big room.
Oh, he didn't flip the switch though. Can't reach this right chest. Yeah, and I can't say I saw if he picked up the floatable key.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he went and got it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just looking at what his situation is now, I can't say for sure. He could have used the key from the lobby room here
he didn't
reach
pick it up. He
western side.
He didn't pick up that lobby key.
Phylion making his way over to Armos.
He has 60 arrows. Well, 58 now, but
that is a lot of arrow boosters.
So this should be easy. You know, no matter what, he's not gonna run out of arrows.
Certainly not yet. It's certainly not gonna run out of ammo. And looks like he's got a pretty good lineup here on the statues. Firing a couple shots the wrong direction. Sometimes that happens. And
just a heart piece.
Just a piece of heart. Piece of heart and a little red ball on a string.
Put it on your cat. Looks nice. Yeah, I think Meyer's got to be the play. And then you can go to Meyer, and then is he gonna do blacksmiths now?
Yeah, I don't think he's done that yet, so that's definitely. I think that's what he has in mind. That is 4 items
to clear
over there.
Skullwoods.
Well, actually, no, 3 items. He does not
Didn't
have powder for the path.
Yeah. No, he's not going to clear Skullwoods. He's already been in Skullwoods. He's got the 2 items there. He's going to check Blacksmith's first, and if it's not there, he's probably just going to. Oh, Bumper Cave and the mirror check. Did he check Bumper Cave?
No, he's heading for the. Oh, maybe he didn't check Bumper Cave.
I thought he did.
Yeah, I thought he did. Maybe I'm misremembering. That's just $20. So.
That's what I thought was up there.
Yeah, I thought I remembered seeing that. Maybe he's forgotten it, or maybe we're just imagining that check. I don't know.
It's pretty much always $20 on Bumper Cave.
It's pretty much always $20 and everywhere. It's the most common item. That's what you call confirmation bias, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a 25% chance to be a red rupee, right?
Yeah, 25% is always. 100% of the time, it's 25% of the time.
Pretty much always is like a quarter of the time. And then, like, you know, sometimes it's a blue rupee. And then sometimes
really
it's a hard piece, which is
green rupee.
which is pretty much all the time. You add those in and it's like 50%. So most of the time...
It's 50-50. It's either a red rupee or it isn't, you know?
Did he not check Catfish?
Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, Catfish is kind of a tricky one to route in if you do Zora area early. Because it's so far removed from everything else if you're not grouping it in with a mirror to check the Zora area. So, like, it never feels convenient.
Did we see Dr. J do Catfish?
I don't think so. He, like, you know, he, like, just started accessing Dark World with the Moon Pearl off of...
Right, as soon as he got into Dark World, he went into Swamp, basically.
Yeah, since he got that mirror earlier than mfFylion did from his Eastern Mountain trip. So, yeah. Looking at a Catfish check, we'll see. Catfish got just a little bit of love.
17 hearts.
Yeah, finally I'm looking like he's got quite the tanky build here. But, yeah, I don't think tanking up is what he's wanting to do right now. I think he's wanting to find that ether.
Now we got blacksmiths?
Yeah, back to village. I think we're going to be looking at blacksmiths, as I was talking about. It is 3 items you can grab there. You turn in the frog for 1. You do Peg Cave while you're there for 2. And then you turn in the purple chest for 3.
Mirror plus flute makes this pretty easy. He still actually might go check there's South of Grove, the mirror spot that he hasn't checked yet, too.
Yeah, it's a good thing to group in with the purple chest if you're just walking it down there.
Yeah, you can walk it down, and then you can, after you check whatever's in there, you can just flute to 7 to turn it in. No book, so you can't check the Bombos tablet, which is when you would route this in normally.
Oh, we'll see what's in Peg Cave right here. Just a little bit more love. Yeah, meanwhile, Dr. J cleaning up this Argus fight. A little bit harder of a fight than mfFylion, since he only has the Master Sword, but cleaning up pretty nicely all the same with pretty minimal damage taken. So, well done for him. That's his 2nd crystal.
Did he skip? Okay. He was making sure he did not skip the Sea House.
Alright, yeah, now I think is going to be heading for the frog you pick up here.
Yeah, some people do nothing in Outcast before Thieves Town. Some people skip like the Sea House or the Bombable Hut or something like that. And then they forget about it after Thieves Town. And, oh, Hammer's there. Whoops.
Yeah, the good old, you know, the one time you forget to check something, there's required progression there. It happens every time.
I think that's confirmation bias.
Exactly. But then you don't forget about that location for a good, you know, few dozen races until you forget about something else.
Then you start routing it in inconvenient spots just to make sure that you don't forget it.
So nothing from the breadsmiths. gonna be picking up this purple chest. Looks like he's mirroring and is just gonna fly it straight to Gary. Which, yeah, it's gonna mean that Grove Ledge is maybe gonna go, stay unchecked for a little while. Could route this in immediately after, just like go to the portal right above Swamp. Purple chest. Ooh, well, that's a good find. That is a good find. That is silver arrows. Gonna make for a much easier Ganon fight, and a much easier Vitreous fight once this turns out to be a pedestal seed.
You know, as valuable as that is, it's not really a good lunch. So Gary's gonna be out of luck there. Yeah, Jay got his ice rod in Hype Cave, and he's checking this first.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, both racers checking this.
Oh man, I wanted to see Ether so badly.
And I'm trying to think if we've got any more overworld locations left, but I think we may have checked just about everything on the overworld at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the overworld spots, and I'm pretty sure that's gone. It would have been amazing. The first race I commentated, it was simultaneous go mode at Dick Spot with Quake and Dick Spot or something like that. Maybe Bombos.
Yeah, I caught that clip. That was
oh man, I lost my mind.
Has Phylion not done? Phylion never did the castle basement.
No, that's where boots were, right?
No, those were in Crossroom, like in the you know.
Oh,
wait, is he heading for Aghanim? No, okay, yeah, no, I think just kind of mix some things up for a moment. Immediately head back in and he's heading for the basement. Yeah, no, I don't think he's done the basement yet, which is, you know, 3 chests.
All right.
Yeah, sure enough, has not been here yet, so we'll pick up a few items here, but Dr. J has already been in here. We know there's nothing of value in here.
Everyone can stop worrying, this is still a pedestal seed.
I mean, at this point, I think, you know, regardless, you know, with him having cleared out Eastern, full cleared that.
18 hearts.
He's already found both items in Skull Woods. Yeah, Mire is definitely the place to be going at this point.
I'm pretty sure Mire's the only thing left at this point. Cause, yeah, Turtle Rock is the 5th crystal, so it can't be a Fat Fairy. Yeah, he doesn't have Powder, doesn't have Shovel, doesn't have Book. Doesn't have Mushroom. So that's everything else.
Yep. It's all on Mire.
He really didn't want to go into Mire.
I mean, Pendant Mire, I can understand not wanting to go in there. It's a pretty low value dungeon, only 2 items in there. You know, granted this time it's Green Pendant, so it's a little bit more value. Green Pendant is worth an item turn-in.
Lumberjack, I believe, also another piece of heart, so...
Yeah, Lumberjack Cave was already checked, and we already know that that's not worthwhile, so... Yeah, gonna be going into Mire now, though. Man, unless there's something we're both forgetting about, this is where he's going to find the next bit of progression. Whether it's from, you know, another fetch quest item like the Mushroom, the Powder, or the Book, either just being in here directly, or there being nothing in here and pointing us towards Mr. Ashla turn-in, or the pedestal. We'll know very soon.
Wow, Ninban, you got everything else right. And you've corrected me a million times. How could you forget about Eastern Palace? Now I get to gloat that you forgot something. Ha!
Got him.
Yeah. Jeez, step up your game.
You know, why is there not a tournament for tracking items?
Yeah, just fastest, smallest delay from acquiring item to it showing up on stream. And you miss a minute if you forget something. I don't know.
I'd be willing to enter a tracking tournament.
I think I did okay. I tracked a race. It was all right. I kind of jumped in 15 minutes in because they didn't have a tracker, so it was a little touch and go at the start. But okay, yeah, Terra would win the contest. But look, you know, second place is still prestigious. So let me get that silver medal. Look, man, I gotta win something. I'm not good at this game.
Yeah, those who can't do track.
Exactly. Look, I'm a teacher. I know all about not being able to do.
Alright, so far just 2 small keys out of Meyer. So no items yet. Dr. J cleaning out this Palace of Darkness now. Ooh.
First item. That's the 4th bottle, right?
I believe that is bottle number 3?
Didn't he get green goo earlier?
Oh yeah, that's right. There was green goo in Hochake. So yes, you're right. That is bottle number 4. So we have pretty much as much safety on that front as possible. There's the big key.
Do you go over to the big chest and get those 2 chests, or?
There are a few options you could take here. You could just rush Vitreous. Could go for the big chest and the small chest over there. But looks like he's going to go for the vanilla big key location here. Oh, realizing that he's a little short on magic, needs to grab that full magic right at the foot of the stairs.
It's
on the spot here.
not 50-50 pedestal. There's 2 items because you still got the green pendant. So it's not quite 50-50 yet.
Yeah, it's 3366. Unless you're talking, you know, it's either pedestal or it's not.
And
in which case, yes, absolutely 50-50.
Then the 1% is we forgot something. Actually, it's probably more like 20% we forgot something. But in this case, mfFylion probably forgot it too, so we're in the clear. Time for an epic fetch quest train. Shovel to mushroom to powder.
Still have not found the
single arrow
in Meyer yet. Could be at Vitreous, could be over on the right side with that big chest and the small chest. Looks
Dr.
like Pfalion may be heading for Vitreous now. Just gonna see if he has the last item.
Yes, that's where the boots were. He did. So he got the sewer chest right away after getting the mitts or the gloves. Sorry, because it was gloves and there was a small key back there.
Okay, yeah. So finally, I'm making the rush for Vitreous here.
Dr. J's having trouble with this pod. I think he locked himself out.
Oh, Dr. J does not have the bow.
Oh, he's locked. Okay,
right.
That's why.
Yeah. So and he spent a key for the vanilla big key chest, which turned out to be vanilla. It was the big key, and yeah, I think that's gonna lock him out without the bow, very likely.
Bows and Thieves Town, that's where he has to go now.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna head there, so
yeah, that's where he had to go from the start. But maybe he's more comfortable with Pod than Thieves Town.
Pfalion about to finish up this Misery Mire. Well, maybe. I imagine if Vitreous doesn't drop an item, we'll see him going right back in to hunt down that second item. But it should be pretty easy with this silver, these silver arrows. Silver arrows absolutely destroy anything that they're able to damage. They pretty much one-shot everything that they can hit. You know, the obvious exception being Ganon, who takes 4. And the main eye for Vitreous also being an exception, taking 2.
It's the compass.
So yeah, the second item is still lurking around in Mire over on the right side somewhere, either in the big chest or the small chest right by it. So probably going to see Pfalion come right back in. Or we might see him go turn the screen pendant in.
It might be faster turning the green pendant.
No, I'm gonna go ahead right back in and go hunt down that second item.
Might as well cover your bases. Yeah, he's probably freaking out that he didn't go into Meyer earlier. And it might be in here. Because he's done everything else. And this seed was very fast, very early. He was like 2 items away from go mode at like 40 minutes after he found the Mitten pod, so...
Yeah, it was... and yeah, that mirror had been accessible like the whole time, just missed it in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, that's a good point from Spiffers. There's the blue switch is reset now, so he can't access that small chest.
Yeah, so he really has to open the big chest.
Oh,
it's Ether! There it is!
Oh man, if you just would have gone to Pendant Meyer when you were here and had everything to get in here, you would have been in go mode 30 minutes ago. Yeah,
it's a little bit of a shame. It's so
and also forgetting Spiral Cave. If you didn't forget Spiral Cave, he would have been in go mode, I don't know, 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's easy to kick yourself and beat yourself up over that, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a what happened happened. You just gotta focus and push ahead. And I mean, obviously he doesn't know this, but there isn't too much of a concern for him. He's still pretty far ahead of Dr. J right now, who's currently, I think, kind of struggling a little bit to navigate Thieves Town. Will eventually work his way down to those bottom chests. Yeah, here we go. Got back on track. Yeah, exactly what Fluff is saying. Like when you watch runs after the fact and you know where those items are, you're always beating yourself up and being like, why didn't I just check that first? What was I doing? It's like,
it's very easy when you're commentating too to be like, oh, it's obviously in Meyer. Just go to Meyer. God. And then like when you're playing, you're like, there's always some reason in your head that you're not thinking of going in there, or you've convinced yourself that it's over here or something like that. And God, what was I thinking? I don't know. And then sometimes we yell at them to go to Meyer and it's not in Meyer, and then we look stupid, which is fun. Everyone enjoys that. Yeah, Dr. J doesn't look like he knows how to do Thieves Town.
Yeah, this big, kind of lobby area at the start is a little bit confusing if you don't know your way around it. Does make his way through though, and is heading back. Should be pretty straightforward from there.
Fyllion having trouble with the dead rocks. He mirrored right on top of one.
Those dead rocks will get you. So yeah, Fyllion going into his last dungeon before Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, I mean, he can go mode this as soon as he gets the big key and steals a spawn key. There's really nothing else he needs. Maybe he wants powder, but he's got 4 potions. One of them is a green potion, but he's got tempered, he's got silvers. He's got 19 hearts, or 18 hearts, so it's...
Fyllion's been playing pretty well, so I imagine he's feeling pretty confident about this Triple Rock. Probably won't be looking for too much by way of safety. Been playing pretty well, and he has a ton of safety just in case things go off the rails at any point.
There's some more safety.
There's some more safety. You have a blue cane of Burma. That's going to make checking all the items in Laser Hallway really easy for him if he needs to. Cane of Burma, like the Magic Cape giving you invincibility, but also consuming the magic a lot more slowly than the Cape does. Of course, it compensates for this by generating a ton of lag if you use it in any sort of boss fight.
And not letting you spin your sword while you have it.
Yeah, that as well.
Poor Lino is already calling Ganon's Tower, and
hey, it's a little premature for that. Let's give these guys just a little time to get a little closer there.
Oh, there's the book.
Could go read up that ether tablet before you hit up Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, there's probably a sword there. That's how that works.
I mean, you know, it's one item location compared to like the the 20 or whatever it is in Ganon's Tower. It seems like pretty good odds.
All I know is all the times I remember checking Ether Tablet, and it's been a sword.
You know, I hate to bring it up again, but that sounds like confirmation bias.
You egghead types and your fancy schmancy words. I play rando with my heart and my thumbs.
Just those?
Nothing
else?
My eyes. And then sometimes I bang my head into the keyboard, and that does some stuff.
It sounds like you've got some great strats. I'll need to learn from you.
Look, man, I don't know how good you are at this game, but I am definitely not in this tournament. So just goes to show how good I am.
Yeah, see, we're gonna see. We were talking about this a little earlier. We're gonna see that key theft there. Actually,
does he have the big key?
No, Phylion does not have the big key, so he can't do that key theft. He needs to go to that middle island because yeah, it was
where the
Liu Kane small key book. The first 3 chests, which means that there was a small key in the chain shop. So he's gonna be on a big key. He's probably gonna feel like a little bit of a dork once he reaches the big chest, and the game reminds him that something's missing.
I think he's
he just realized it, maybe. Wait,
no? What? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I think he just realized it. Or
yeah,
maybe he just
You locked? Yeah. Okay. He was like, no, I want to skip the big chest. I don't need it. And
okay, yeah. He was thinking that he could skip the big chest, and yeah, now he's realized. Wait, need to back up.
He's also gonna have to check the big chest because there might be a small key in it.
Yeah, I think if you're having to spend the key to get to the lava maze chest like this, then you want to check the big chest for another small key. I mean, it is still on the cards that there's nothing worthwhile in the big chest, and that there's a small key in the roller room right before the dark room.
Oh, you don't want to take that bottom pipe.
Yeah, a little bit inefficient on the routing. Going all the way back up to here is not really necessary. Maybe you wanted that full magic refill, I guess, but there are other places to get that.
That it takes you a lot of just practice to like not have to think about where you have to go.
Yeah, a lot of like ways you could easily just kind of take some little inefficient routes and wrong turns. So you're gonna be heading for that big chest. Yeah, now that he's seeing that he doesn't have any small keys, definitely gonna head and check that. Spiffer's calling for a mimic cave check, but I'm gonna skip right past that. And big chest, useless, just a nice tasty burrito.
Could have skipped it.
So
but
what we
really
know,
don't want to risk that.
Yeah, what we know now is that there is going to be a small key in the upcoming roller room. You would need that to be able to advance further in the dungeon. That means that there's also going to be a small key in the laser hallway somewhere. And that cane of Burma he picked up earlier is really going to help out there.
I mean, it might be good. Maybe the butter sword or powder or something is also in the laser bridge. So it'll end up being good that he has to check them.
Meanwhile, Dr. J has returned to Eastern now that he's got the bow from Thieves Town. Gonna finish this up because he knows that Armos has an item.
He's been back here twice, so might as well finish the job.
Nice use of the hookshot for the invincibility through the firebar. Hookshot's a pretty useful tool beyond just, clearing gaps. You are completely invincible while it's extended, so you can use it to kind of tank through hits like that.
Especially in the Ganon fight with the fire bats.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot from a lot of racers. Probably going to see him open up the safety checkpoint here.
Oh, don't die before you do it? Okay.
But that blue mail, that bomb's only going to deal half a heart of damage, so it's not too bad that the beetle was pushing him onto it, but... Yeah, here we go. You're going to see that Cannon Burner come out. There's Quake.
Quake! Cool.
He's got the full collection. Compass. He's running out of magic here.
We should use the green potion that he's got. Oh, it's powder.
There's powder, and okay, so the key is in the first chest there. And yeah, Turtle Rock is, you know, kind of unfortunately, not necessarily one of the best dungeons to go mode. Very often you can be forced to check everything anyway, and we're seeing that here with the big key being on the in the pipe maze, and with a small key being in Laser Hall. You just gotta check everything for it. And there we go, there's that last small key, so he's checked absolutely every location, unless you want to count Mimic Cave. And now he's gonna be on his way to Trinex.
So you're gonna powder this fairy down here? No. Says nope. He's got potions. That's fine.
He's got potions. He opened up the checkpoint just outside of here, so if he dies, he's not going to be very far back. And Jay, having finished up Armos, only getting that piece of heart, going to be going over the Dark World and doing Palace of Darkness now.
Yeah, he's already got the myths out of here. So that's, I think, the only item of consequence there, but he does need to finish it for the crystal. And yeah, he's getting there.
And Trinex fight going on here for Phylion.
Good switch to the fire rod before the final hit, because if you do that hit, you can't switch from the cutscene.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting quirk with the game is that when a boss, any part of a boss is exploding, it actually does not let you pull up the item menu. So if you destroy one of those Trinex heads before swapping to the rod to start attacking the next one, you're just going to be locked in there with with the wrong rod sitting in your hand, and you're just going to feel kind of dumb about it.
And that's Turtle Rock done.
Yep. Picking up Trinex's pocket change there, 20 bucks. From,
so poor Lino has already guessed the bottom left chest in the rando room, so go ahead and get your guesses in for where the big key in Ganon's tower will be.
Yeah.
It's 22 chests it can be, and Man says 12.
Yeah, with Turtle Rock being the last dungeon before Ganon's tower, the timing window you've got to get your guesses in is pretty short, so hurry up and get those guesses in. There are 22 possible locations where the big key can be in Ganon's tower, so anything 1 through 22 is fair game. Of course, if you want to guess a specific location rather than a number, you're welcome to do so as well. Sir Beater of Ars guessing that it's going to be on the torch, which is normally item number 3, going by standard routing.
Yeah, a lot of people nowadays, if they see a key on the right side, they just go ahead and do those 4 chests on that side. It's kind of fast, anyway.
Here we go, 300 bucks and a small key. Are we gonna see an immediate right side? Nope. We're gonna see standard left side first. Finally, I'm just heading back upstairs and head over to the left side.
I hate doing right side. That torch room is a pain. Oh, half magic.
Half magic. That's a pretty nice find. It's gonna make the rest of this climb pretty easy. Give you a little bit of safety against Ganon as well, yeah, especially with that cape.
You can use the cape. That'll let you get through the fire bat phase really quickly with the tempered sword. So not the torch. We're at 3 items now.
And there we go. Heading over to the Stalfos room. So this is going to be 4 through 7. And there 4. It is, number 4.
Poor Leno was correct.
Wait, was he? Rando room, bottom left. Nope, that's not Rando room. That's the Stalfos room. Rando room is the one in the portal maze. So unfortunately, no one wins this time.
I remembered bottom left. I was like, oh, what?
No, bottom left was correct, but wrong room. Yeah, finally, I'm not even checking the rest of the chests in that room. Just gonna immediately mirror out and head up the tower. Kind of struggling against these mimics, though.
So many hits from the mimics.
But he's got himself pinned against that statue. And those mimics hurt.
Yeah, he's got potion and he's got powder, so he'll be fine.
Yeah,
also,
Boots,
the half magic, but
Boots as well means he can visit the fairy room coming up if he wants.
he might be feeling a little basically full clearing before getting to Meyer. Yeah, he had 2 spots left for that Ether Medallion, so he must be feeling a little behind. Yeah, also that's true. He did forget the mirror, so luckily the mirror didn't have anything necessary except desert. But
yeah, little thing worth noting there, Filion falling off the bridge there. But once you fall into the pit, you actually get some good amount of invincibility frames from getting put back onto the map from falling into a pit. You can just dash straight through the bridge after that happens.
He's gonna use this fire rod really heavily in the gauntlet.
Yeah, that's where this half magic pickup is really nice. Because that fire rod insta-kills the Stalfos without even giving you the burning animation. You generally don't want to use the fire rod against these guys, because then you got to sit through this burning animation like we just saw right there, and it can be kind of slow. But against the Stalfos, you don't even get that. It's really nice against them.
That ended up being a pretty nice gauntlet right there. Once he got past those mimics. And he's going to powder this and do Len Mullis to...
Powder, the bunny beam kind of throws off the timing on these, makes them spawn much closer together. You can make it hard to get the 1 cycle, and we are going to see at least a 2 cycle. Oh, that really short jump from the second worm there. So pushing it over to 3 cycles. Oh, and getting sniped by the fireballs.
Yeah,
it's easier. Rough of a Landos.
It's easier to use the silvers, I think, when you get the closer spawns together than the fire rod. I find it a little easier.
Silvers can be a little tough to get used to the timing, though, because there's kind of the wind-up time where Link takes the time to draw the string back before shooting, and the projectiles are a lot slower than the fire rod.
Also, if you miss one, the arrow's flying. You can't shoot until the arrow stops flying, so you might just miss all of the entire cycle. Whereas with fire rod, you can just kind of spam it.
Yeah, fire rod with the much faster moving projectiles, it doesn't really matter that you have to wait for the projectile to finish. Yeah, coming up on the end of Ganon's tower here, just a couple more rooms to clear.
Almost fell.
Well done to stay on there.
Falling before hitting that second torch would have been really painful. See if he checks these chests in the upcoming rooms. He doesn't need the keys,
yeah, he's got the keys he needs, but could still use red mail and butter sword. So
another hard piece. Yeah, that. He's close to 19 hearts.
$20, and just a couple more rooms between him and Aghanim 2. We've got Moldorm 2 here. A little bit of a scary fight compared to Moldorm 1, but at least you're better equipped for it generally. The small platform is really easy to get knocked off of, but puts him away, and we'll be coming up on the validation chest. Trying to cover up what's in there with the Cane of Samaria block, but I could see that was $20.
One of the things they did with V26 is they kind of pre-filled Ganon's tower with a random amount of junk items, so sometimes it's really not that good.
Yeah, you're gonna be seeing a lot less valuable items in Ganon's tower than you did in previous iterations of the logic. Really nice triple hit there. I'm not sure if it counted as triple though. if multiple orbs hit Aghanim on the same frame, then it's only gonna count 1. And that we might have seen that there. It's hard to tell.
He might be at 5 hits right now. No.
Yeah, no, one of the hits got eaten. But there we go. Pretty good Aghanim 2 fight.
Meanwhile, Dr. J is done with Pod. He just has he's Desert, Ice, and T-Rock Way. Of course, he does have to go into Mire and find Ether.
Yeah, that is true. But he's if he can find that Ether, he's that's all he's missing for go mode at this point. Would be good for him if he could find those silvers. I'm trying to remember where. I think that was in the purple chest, was it?
Yeah, that was in the purple chest.
But yeah. Meanwhile, Phylion though looking to close this out, starting the Ganon fight. This is going to be 12 hits per phase in the opening parts of the fight. Just a couple more to get into the Fire Bat phase.
Oh, he kind of misses. Takes a hit there, but he's got lots of health. He's got a red potion. He's got 2 blue potions, and he's got half magic with the cape, so he can he can play the select more quickly with the cape if he wanted to. And he's gonna have to use a potion here. Oh, he already drank the red potion, so he's only down to 2 blue potions. Yeah, there's the cape now coming out.
Yeah, it would have been better to pull that out first, but you know, better late than never. Gonna finish out those first 2 phases without too much trouble.
Yeah, you don't need a whole lot of magic when you have silvers. It's not like you're doing silverless Ganon, where you gotta keep the torches lit and relight them.
Alright, there we go, and on to the final phase here. Just needs to hit him with 4 silver arrows to finish him off. Getting hit by a fire bat there, thankfully not getting knocked anywhere near the ledges.
He missed the torch. He's gonna miss the torch glitch though, but with the fire rod and half magic, it's not gonna be that big of a deal.
And going for double hits, but you need to have a little bit of room behind Ganon, like between Ganon and the edge of the arena, to get double hits. You need the extra time of him kind of sliding across the floor to be able to get those double or triple hits.
It would work here, but that's the last hit, and that's gonna be GG for Phylion.
Yeah, Phylion cleaning up Ganon. All that's left is to walk into the Triforce room. And there you go. That is GG. Phylion completed with an SRL time of 1:57.36. Triforce giving it its GGs as well.
Alright, so Dr. J is in Desert, still looking for Ether. Well, hopefully he'll chuck Mire right after this, but in all likelihood he'll be heading to Ice afterwards to look for it, or do some more Overworld.
It's kind of a shame for Dr. J that so much of this race came down to just remembering about Waterfall Fairy for him.
Yeah, he was about 20 minutes behind just from that. And then he just, he's played pretty solidly up to the point. Had maybe a couple of brain farts, just misremembering some layouts of the dungeons or things like that. But otherwise, he's gotten everything down so far, and he would have been on pretty decent pace without that Waterfall Fairy mishap.
Yeah, definitely one of those situations where after this race, I'm sure he is not going to forget about Waterfall Fairy for quite some time.
That's kind of what Rando is. It's like every seed teaches you a new lesson and punishes you for doing something wrong. And then you have to learn the lesson every time. I'm interested to see what's on the pedestal. Maybe there's another sword on the pedestal. There was a whole lot of Ganon's Tower we didn't see, though.
Yeah, pretty early big key from Ganon's Tower, so tons of stuff that could potentially still be in there.
Alright, we're just in the back of Desert here. We're about to get up to Land Molus. We'll see how Dr. J approaches this fight, if he's going to use the Fire Rod, or spins from the Tempered Sword.
Fire Rod, I think, definitely is best choice here, but spins from the Tempered Sword, I believe, will do just as much damage. So, this is an option he has.
Dr. J doing? Dr. J is cleaning up. He forgot about Waterfall Fairy for a long time, so he didn't get into Dark World for about an hour. Something like that. So he just fell behind really, really early by not getting hookshot.
Yeah, why don't we get Phylion in here for an interview? Do we have someone who can move him in here? There we go. Hey, what's up, Phylion? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is your mic on? Yeah, you're lighting up, but I'm not getting any sound from you.
Same. Alright, it's Desert done. Still gotta find Ether, but all that's left after that is Ice and Total Rock.
Oh, well, there's your answer. It's the backlash stick at pedestal, the blue boomerang.
Oh man, blue boomerang. We're going to Ice. Yeah, we could be a long way away from finding Go mode. You know, there are a lot of places to check. We saw that with Phylion. He went pretty much cleared everything before he went into Mire. So, who knows? He might start doing overworld stuff before going to Mire after Ice Palace. Yeah, Ice makes the most sense. Mire would be something you'd go into if you had a hunch, right? Like, oh, we got early Bombos, we got early Kane. I should go in here.
And oftentimes, you know, races get determined by just who takes the plunge on those sorts of hunches first.
Spooty is the king of taking plunges on hunches, and sometimes
I love going into stupid places like Pendant Mire.
Pendant Mire with 3 other dungeons you can do.
Dr. J trying to
oh, you can't do that.
Mirror race with block in a dungeon. The mirror racing technique only works in places where it doesn't have another function. Inside dungeons, mirrors, you know, take you back to the entrance, so you can't mirror race here. That's only for caves and such.
The first time I learned about that trick, I tried to do it at the very last part of Escape in a standard run, where you push the block to go up to the Sanctuary, and I just mirrored back to the very beginning. And I think I just quit right then and there. I was just like, we're gonna start a new seed.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Hello?
Yeah,
hello?
Oh, hello.
Oh, gosh, there we are. Hi, sorry. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, well, congrats on the win, man.
Thank you, thank you. I see Dr. J is making his way through stuff still.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear what we said? He forgot about Waterfall Fairy early, which had the hookshot.
I remember
he
that.
Kind of went everywhere. He went into Eastern a couple of times to make sure that he got everything out of there. And he checked like all the fairy caves.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do you feel about that Pendant Mire?
You know what? I'm not too mad about it. It was just one of those things. It was sitting there. I knew I could check it, but it felt like a lower percentage play. And when it ended up having the ether, I just kind of said, so it goes.
Yeah, we were kind of like
in a lot better stride than you took the mirror find. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was just forgetting about Spiral Cave until way too late.
Yeah, you saved and quit after you did Hera Basement, and then
That's That's right. And it was only when I was doing Dark World Death Mountain that I ran by that spot in the Dark World and said, "Oh my god, something might be there."
Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't think it hurt too much.
Not really. There was nothing in Swamp, I don't think. So,
No,
I don't remember the mirror spots. Anyway, the mirror was basically just to get you into the 2 dungeons.
Yeah, I remember getting mirror, and before that point going, "Oh my god, I don't need to check the overworld stuff," because I was kind of always finding myself with the dungeon to do. So, fortunately, I always had something to do until that mirror turned up.
Oh, and something else to just note. Jay also
Forgot the
jellyfish key in Ice Palace, which we noted. That's something you skipped on.
I lost my count in Ice Palace. And I wasn't sure what was going on. I couldn't even have told you if Cold Star was going to have an item. I don't know how that happened, but it
Yeah,
didn't.
you just skipped. There's the small key that the jelly drops in the conveyor belt room, and you just skipped it. You got
the one.
Yeah, you got an early key.
Yeah, from the penguin room.
I did. Okay.
And then so like you went through that door. You're like, oh, I don't need a key. I just got the key from jelly.
Well, and I remember at the crossroads room on like the 3rd basement floor, just where Dr. J's here. I remember getting to that room, trying to go right, and thinking, I thought I picked up a key somewhere.
Well, you picked up one, but you need to pick up 2.
Well, there's a couple of things in this race that
a harsh Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's just one of those little things that's kind of easy to just, kind of autopilot past and forget. Keys held by enemies or keys under pots.
Yeah, so fortunately
So,
it didn't burn me too bad.
Okay, I'm not quite sure. Like, do we count your run as valid if you try and cover up the item with the Samaria?
I don't know. I just thought I'd start some.
We'll have to run that by the refs. I'm not too sure.
Did you think you were behind whenever you found ether, like at the very last chest you could check?
I didn't really think so.
Okay.
I felt very, very good about my opening.
Yeah, you were super fast into Dark World, and you got a lot of stuff really quickly.
Yeah, so I check Ice Rod Cave very early, and I know most people don't. And so when I found the flippers there, and flippers led to hookshot, I started thinking, okay, I feel like I have a lead here.
Amusingly enough, Dr. J actually tried to check Ice Rod Cave even before you did, but died to a crab on the way, and I think just kind of said, you know what? Screw this place, I'm not going there. And
he literally checked Uncle, and then save and quit, and then tried to go to Ice Rod Cave. And he died to the...
Yeah, a bit of an unconventional routing strategy, but it would have paid off had he not gotten taken out by one of those bloodthirsty crabs on the way.
Yeah. Well, good for him. I mean, too bad for him, but it would have been nice if that had worked. But yeah, I felt good about the opening and kind of good all along until that stupid ether medallion was evading me.
We were hoping pedestal.
I was sure that everyone watching was hoping for pedestal. So I was kind of routing with that in mind to an extent, and I'm kind of miffed I did all that work and didn't end up with a pedestal seed.
Like I got 2 pendants, and all I had to do was go mode Skullwoods. And
I mean, if we're being honest, it really was a pedestal seed. Like, how can you finish a run without the blue boomerang?
I had the red one, which is nowhere near as good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, he got the key, it looks like.
Those sparkle effects lag the game like crazy, you really want the blue one.
It's just so fast.
But, yeah, it was a race that could have gone better, could have gone a lot worse in a lot of places, so...
It'll be a while before you forget Spiral Cave again.
I think so, yeah. And in fact, normally I don't forget that. Normally I've got the mirror when I go up there, or I don't have to check the basement. And it was just that weird combination of being so far down there, it slipped my mind.
Oh. Oftentimes, the randomizer is all about just being able to react to those weird combinations of circumstances on the fly that you don't normally see.
Yeah. So no, you're right. I'm not going to make that mistake again. That list of things I won't do again is about 5 long now.
Only 5?
Yeah, I haven't been doing this for too long.
Okay. Yeah, trust me, you'll get that list will get into the hundreds once you have enough practice.
As long as put a bunch of post-it notes around your monitor. Check spiral cave.
As long as it doesn't go above about 218, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah, it's like every time you play, there's always some weird edge case that the game forces you to learn, and you always have to keep it in mind from then on there.
So I think Dr. J almost done with this ice palace. He's got this one out of the way chest to check, I think.
I think he's looking for the switch, and there's the key.
Yeah, maybe not quite sure which pot has the switch.
Huh. I'm not sure if he's looking for more keys or
maybe more health as well. Just wanted to make sure he's as healthy as he can be for Cold Stare.
Yeah, Cold Stare's
I am at least, very relieved. I was so relieved to know that it wasn't a matter of like, that Jay hasn't played since pre-V26 and just didn't know about the Waterfall Fairy.
And he went there eventually. It did seem like he wasn't quite sure where it was. He was just kind of aware that there was a new chest, but he was having trouble because he started checking a bunch of other fairies. He went into the Venus cave, and he did the drop down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was looking everywhere. He was like, "Oh, is it this fairy?" No, okay.
I think he's almost done with this ice. I think he's already been to the right side, on the floor above where he is right now. So I think he just has to kill Cold Stare.
Unfortunately, this is not going to give him what he needs, and he'll have to go to Misery Mire. I'm trying to think what he has left to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he's got left overworld-wise. I don't think he has found the items out of Skullwoods yet. I don't think he's been in there at all. But yeah, I think he's gonna run out of options pretty soon. So I imagine it's only a matter of time before he gets to Misery Mire.
All right. Well, I'm going to duck out of this call. I don't think I have any other thoughts about this seed.
Yeah. Thanks for the comments. Congrats again on the win.
Well, thank you to both for commentating this, and I'll talk to you guys later, I'm sure.
Our pleasure. Have a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what Dr. J is looking for. You don't really have to check that right side for anything. In fact, it's kind of scary. The first time you open up that,
I kind of wonder
pick up that block and you see all
I kind of wonder if Dr. J is kind of feeling like that he's not winning this and is just kind of checking all the pots so that he knows for the future. Okay, there's health under these pots. There's magic under these pots. Because it seemed really strange to go out of his way for those pots on the right there when he already had, I believe, full magic and full health.
Well, if he's paying attention to IRC, he knows he's lost. But
yeah, that is true.
It could just be he's a little unfamiliar and doesn't know what everything is. Yeah. Ice Palace is really that one takes forever to learn. I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, ice. Okay, I can route this and not screw it up all the time and not die in the process. Oh man, it's got one last eye to kill.
But yeah, the one last eye. There we go. Yeah, landed some pretty nice spins there, like hitting multiple eyes all at the same time. Taking a few nasty hits, but overall pretty good cold stare fight. So that's ice out of the way. And yeah, at this point, the only crystal he's got left to gather is the Turtle Rock Crystal, but has he been up to Death Mountain yet? Does he know that Ether is required for that?
He got mitts out of Pod, but I think he went to Thieves Town right after.
Okay, yeah, looks like he is gonna go check that Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, because he got mitts, and then he had to leave Pod and go to Thieves Town where he got the bow, and then he did Eastern and Pod.
And yeah, I think considering the options he has available to him, this is definitely the right place to go, because yeah, I don't believe he knows what Turtle Rock's requiring. Like, this could be, this could potentially be go mode for him.
Yeah, he's gonna be heartbroken when he finds out that it is not go mode.
Yeah, if Turtle Rock required Bombus, then he is in go mode right now. But as we know, that needs Ether, so he's still got a little ways to go.
He's not treating it like go mode, because he did check everything in ice. So he's aware that he might need a medallion or something.
You're kind of missing the mirror eraser there, so it's probably just gonna have to do this cave the normal way. The hook shot he had out there would have worked as well. You can actually fire the hook shot through moving blocks. And if the hook shot does hit something, it will latch on and pull it through, regardless of the fact that there's a block right in front of him.
I think he tried it, it didn't work. Then he switched to the mirror, tried to do the other one with the mirror, and that didn't work either.
Yeah, maybe just not mashing it quite enough. We'll be coming up on the two chests in here, though. Finding more item locations always good. We do know that there's nothing of value in here, though.
Yeah, Hookshot Cave's not good either.
Yeah, despite the fact that we know that this isn't the right place to be, that there's nothing of value here, and that he can't get into Turtle Rock, the decision to come up here is definitely the right decision. It's a kind of an easy trap to fall into when you're, when you're looking back at your decision making and your routing. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say. But you really don't want to be necessarily thinking with what actually happened in mind. But you don't really want those results-oriented thinking, because then you're gonna end up with this convoluted route where it's like, well, I should have just gone out of my way and spent 40 seconds to go to Catfish, which is way out of the way, and just one item, okay, because it had what I needed. But and yeah, in this case, East Mountain definitely the right place to go, because it's 7 items if he goes all the way to Spike Cave as well. There's nowhere else he can go that has nearly that much item density.
Yeah, I think he's looking at Skullwoods and the Blacksmith Chain. That might be it. I don't know. He hasn't checked. He probably hasn't also not checked Catfish and Pyramid.
Yeah,
he checked Pyramid because he killed Aga.
Yeah, a few stray locations that he could do, but and nothing nearly as dense as stuff like Hookshot Cave. Guess he hasn't looked at what was on the floating island, because he's gonna mirror here.
Is it bombs?
I'm pretty sure it was just like a bomb booster or something. Or 3 bombs, yeah. Probably gonna see him go over to Turtle Rock now to see what it needs.
I should have done that first, because if it was Bombos, then he could have just gone in. But
I do kind of wonder if maybe he still wants to find silvers. That could be a possibility. Maybe he wants the the silvers for the abandoned pipe. Because yeah, it seemed a little odd to be checking all those locations before even what. Oh yeah, it looks like he might be heading to Meyer here. I don't know if he's checked the area. No, it looks like I think that's still raining. Yeah, it's still raining, so he has not been in here to open Meyer or anything.
He pulled out Bombos, but he's having a hard time getting there. Yeah, this is the play. All right, we're about to get go mode. We just have to find the big key and then go to the big chest, which is where it was.
Yeah, being in the big chest is a little bit of a troll. Kind of makes you hunt all over for that big key, and then once you find the big key, Vitreous is immediately available. So it's like, oh, no, it's green pendant. Vitreous himself could have an item. Maybe I should just go straight to Vitreous. I'm not quite sure what Jay's looking for, killing all these little Hershey kisses.
Yeah, he's been killing enemies. Sometimes just after he left ice and he mirrored, he killed everything before he flew it away. So maybe he just wants to kill stuff.
Pretty decent Wizard Room. Those sword beams. Well, normally sword beams aren't too great to have. They do minimum damage. They do fighter sword damage. And sometimes they can really obnoxiously trigger invincibility frames from enemies and block the damage of your normal sword swings.
This is not gonna let him do anything. He's gonna see this and then yeah.
I think maybe forgetting about the color blocks here. Can't access that chest like that. Needs to head up to the north and pick up a small key, and then you can gain access to the cushion switch on the left. But yeah, those sword beams really handy in the wizard room. Those wizards only having 1 health, everything in that room only having 1 health, so having that extra range is really helpful.
I mean, I usually end up getting hit in that room and losing my sword beams anyway. Go hit the switch up here. No, okay. Yeah, Meyer also.
Yeah, Meyer has a really kind of tricky layout, one that's never quite clear like what the ideal route through it is.
And there's a lot of rooms that you don't have to go into. This is one of them. Although sometimes you come out in that room once you've got the warp there from the vanilla big key chest. Yeah, I had to like watch a video on how to route. I just watched Andy's video on how to 100% route the game to figure out how to do Meyer. He needs to go into the back and get a big key.
Yeah, just get one of the small keys either from one of the chests or under the pot in the spike room.
Well, he also needs to get the big key. But the small key was the first priority.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go back here, hit the color switch back here, and
you need the small key to get back there from this side.
Oh yeah, I'm not used to doing that.
Anyway you slice it, you need a small key.
Yeah, the dungeons, like, and the crazy thing about the dungeons, it's not just the routing, it's like every room has like a super optimized strat. And that changes a little bit in rando because your equipment changes. So sometimes you have to learn multiple variations on the room depending on what you have. And it's like very intimidating because you're not just like, oh, I gotta learn where to go, but you also have to learn exactly how to do this room, or you're just losing seconds every room to people who've been playing this game for years.
And the seconds count. I was someone in the race channel I was in before this race started was commenting that he lost his first tournament match by 4 seconds. I think it was Dragon Master.
Yes. Yeah, seconds do count, and it's like if you look at like NMG, that stuff's optimized down to like a few frames, where it's just like, well, if you want to do this optimally, you know, you gotta wall pump this wall, and you can save yourself 3 frames in this room, and you're just like, yeah, you know, you do that enough in enough rooms, and you know, you get a second, you know, second here and there, and oh man, he's going up here to hit this color switch.
It's easy to overlook that when you're looking at Randomizer, where so often it's the the overall routing decisions that are the real deal breakers. The things that save you things on the magnitude of minutes. Going into like say Pendant Mire instead of Pendant Skull Woods or whatever. So it's easy to forget that, those little time saves, those tiny optimizations in each individual room still do count for a lot once they start adding up.
And he took a lot of damage picking up all the pots, and he's down to 2.5 hearts. He doesn't have powder either. I just don't know he knows how to do Mire at all. It looks like he's making it up as he goes along.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Jay is not really playing with like a race mindset. Might be because he's already seen the in the SRL channel that his opponent's already done. But like when you're speedrunning, when you're racing, you definitely want to just kind of leave behind enemies that either don't have something you want or aren't posing a threat to you. He seems to be really going out of his way to like full clear every room he enters.
Yeah, NMG is crazy. It's just like, I hit the color switch again, which is the wrong thing to do. He's gonna go back and hit the color switch, because he hit the one all the way up in the north. He locked himself out of that chest. Yeah, with NMG, it's like, man, just getting like a sub 140 is like such a huge accomplishment. And it's like you just watch people kind of casually get that. You're like, oh man, I got so much to learn in this. He's not going to have enough magic to use the fire rod.
Yeah, he's going to swap to the lantern. He does, I believe, have that green potion that he got from Hookshot Cave that he could swap to as well. Okay, so blocks are set to the right things, and there's the big key. Looks like he's going to head for the vanilla big key location, doing pretty similar routing to what we saw out of Phylion.
And like, he's killing these enemies. Maybe he's scared, but you don't have to kill him.
I mean, yeah, he is on pretty low health. It looks like he's just trying to hookshot him from here.
He's tracking that guy down with that pot. He says, "You will not live, not while I am alive." Oh, there's a fairy! Oh, it's so good.
Lucky fairy drop there for him. Definitely bailing it.
If you out there. Kill everything in the dungeon, you're gonna find a fairy somewhere. Not using the fire rod strat.
I don't think is quite maybe not familiar with the fact that that you can shoot the fire rod through blocks as they move, similar to how you can shoot the hook shot through the blocks as they move.
Oh, you can just shoot these from the bottom, it'll be faster.
And wisely switching to the lantern there as well. The fire rod uses a lot more magic, but the first two went out in the time he was pushing those blocks. So let's go relight those. There we go.
I still gotta go head over to the big chest. That's where what he's looking for is.
Looks like he might be making his way over there. Looks like he's gonna check the button chest here first. Oh, and yeah, there we go. Finding that last bottle. Extra bottle of blue goop for a little bit more safety. Yeah, it's a possibility, Fluff, I suppose. Maybe just not being quite familiar where all the chests are, thinking that maybe there are some rooms where he has to clear all the enemies out to get a chest to spawn. I mean, we've definitely seen some signs that would suggest that he doesn't quite know all the dungeon layouts, you know, super intimately.
Okay, he's gonna check. He's gonna get this chest right here, and then hopefully drop down and find. Yeah, big chest is down here, and he'll find that ether and get out of here. When I first started out, and I would, especially in the later dungeons, I would have Sakura Sabasa's maps that she has on her site that have all the chests there. I would just try and do it. But like Meyer and Ice Palace are like.
Okay, looks like he's heading for the big chest.
Yep, looks like he's gonna get it.
And there is ether, and that's gonna put him in go mode.
Alvy had that.
The question is, does he? Okay, yes, there we go. Switching to mirror, recognizing that that's all he needs, and that he's ready to complete the game.
I like that go mode just pops up when they're in go mode. As if us yelling go mode wasn't enough. But you know,
I think we needed a few more places. We needed like a giant impact font across the racer screen, maybe with some air horns.
Have it scrolling across and with marquee. Go mode. Go mode.
And replace all the enemy sprites with just go mode.
The go mode button.
Wrong shop. I still make that mistake sometimes. It's really easy to mix up which those caves you need to go in. Because in the light world, if you're going in that cave, you want to go in the right one. If you're in the dark world, you want to go in the left one.
Yeah, he was going in there, and I'm like, oh, he's got the right one. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, he just made a couple of really big mistakes of forgetting about spots to go. He died the first time going to Ice Rod, and then forgot about Waterfall Fairy. And that's, unfortunately, there was a big, long item chain from Ice Rod to Waterfall Fairy to get everything else. That was the big progression block. And
yeah,
it lost a lot of time there.
Pretty linear seed in some respects. Like, it was, Ice Rod Cave, into Waterfall Fairy, into Eastside Death Mountain, pretty much to Thieves Town from there. There was a lot of progression in Thieves Town. Both Kane and Bo, I believe, were in there.
Yeah, the problem is that, like, it starts on Ice Rod Cave. And then, like, from there, you'll probably go check Waterfall Fairy if you remember. Oh, he has to mirror to open up. But, he just forgot about Waterfall Fairy, and Ice Rod Cave took him a while to get back to.
Oh, that dead rock looks like it's right in the way. We got a big dead rock pile up right here at the base of this ladder. Traffic's going to be backed up for quite some time. Oh, that's the wrong peg. Gonna have to reset this area. You just want to go counterclockwise from the right one. Yeah, definitely. Deserves mentioning that Jay's been quite the trooper finishing this out. Because if he's got the IRC open at all, he knows that his opponent finished like 40 minutes ago at this point. So, yeah, mad props to him for sticking it out.
Yeah, some people to forfeit, which is also fine. But probably frustrating to have had that early game he did. He probably just wants to prove that he can finish it, and just sometimes it feels good to finish the seed, even when it gives you some trouble. Be like,
Yeah,
all right,
for sure.
all right, I finished it.
But yeah, here we go. Starting his last crystal dungeon. Opening up Turtle Rock with that old bolt coin.
Unfortunately, this is a full clear as well because the big key is on the island, and there's a small key on Laser Bridge. T-Rock's a lot more straightforward than Ice Palace and Mire, though. Mire's a very open place, a lot of rooms, but
yeah, there are quite a few extra places you could go incorrectly, like in this first room, and it looks like he's heading to one of them. This tile room does not lead anywhere.
I've never seen this tile room.
Yeah, I believe there's just a pot back here with like a magic fill or something. I think that's all that's here. Yeah, for sure. You'll learn a lot more when you push yourself to clear these seeds, even after they even after you've already lost the race. Yeah, there's a fairy and a magic refill. That's all that's in here.
Yeah, maybe one of the fairy. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, like it'd be a decent safety stop if you didn't have to sit through, one of those tile rooms. Lighting those first couple torches a little prematurely, I think. I mean, they're likely going to be out by the time he gets back to the door.
He just missed them.
Oh yeah, now he's going to be a little short on magic too. That's a concern he's going to run into. He does have some potions on backup, but I think needs to kind of reconsider how he's going to approach this room.
Needs to mirror and get the full magic at the start.
Yeah, either mirroring, refill his magic, or spend a potion. Looks like he's gonna look to mirror and grab the full magic right here. Spending the magic on the block before picking it up to make sure that he's at the highest level of magic he can be. Yeah, he looks like he's forgetting about the one chest on the left. As we know, though, that's actually okay. That chest contained the Cane of Burma, which is not necessary to win the game. Taking a moment to consider how he has to route this room.
You have to go up here. That's the wrong way. I mean, you can wait. This is the correct way if you need to wait.
Yeah, I don't know if he has, if he's familiar with the strat to use hookshot to pull himself off the platform and respawn at the start of the room. If you're not doing that, then going that way is correct.
Yeah, it's the correct. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
There you go. Yeah, that's the intended route.
Oh my God, who wants to do things the intended way?
Yeah, the developers intend that you fight Moldorm with fighter's sword and no hammer. Like, who wants to do that?
We do rooms without the lamp, and we swim without flippers, and sometimes we just walk on water.
Yeah, screw the developer intentions. We do what we want. Well, within reason. No EG or anything like that here. This is no major glitches rules. thankfully, while Turtle Rock is a dungeon that requires you have a lot of magic, they do just kind of liberally sprinkle full magic refills around everywhere. There's even some, yeah, he's finding some that I completely forgotten about.
You don't really need
forgot
them.
about that full magic refill in the top left in the main lobby there.
Would you guys rather have a tough seed or an easy seed against a stronger opponent? You probably want an easy seed. Because the really strong players are going to be able to gut out the tough seeds. You probably want an easy seed with one really trolly location.
It depends on what you mean exactly by tough. I'm kind of with what Infinite Fluff is saying. Like tough how? Like that can mean a lot of things. Like tough as in like I'm being forced to fight Mothula on 5 hearts green male fighter's sword, or tough as in there's this ridiculously long and convoluted fetch quest chain that I have to follow across, like, spanning the corner, all the corners of Hyrule.
Good chain, Sean. So, like, you're gonna want the shortest seed possible, because the longer the seed goes on, the more time you're gonna lose just from pure execution, and also if it's a tough to complete seed, your opponent's stronger opponent's going to be better, because they're probably better at doing tough boss fights or things like that.
Something you're going to see a lot from matches where racers go in feeling like there's a strong skill differential. You'll often see in those cases that the racer who feels that they're the weaker player there is going to take a lot of risks, go for a lot of gambles. Kind of operating under the assumption of, like, well, if I just do everything, normally, my opponent's going to do it normally too, but do it better. So what I need to do is I need to just go somewhere completely bonkers, like completely off the wall, and luck into, some insane progression chain before they do, so that I can gain an advantage.
Oh, he's down to 2 hearts trying to kill this Pokey. These guys are hard. He's also skipped the big... He's also skipped a big key.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Those Pokies, you either with Tempered Sword, you can either use a spin to kill them in one shot, like the spin will hit them twice, and ouch, getting lasered. That's gonna send him back to the start of Turtle Rock.
He was so close to getting out of the dungeon.
Just getting out of that room would establish a checkpoint and make the rest of this run a lot easier for him. But back to the start he goes. But yeah, those Pokies, either you want to use a Tempered Spin, if you can get the spin to hit him twice, that'll kill him instantly, or you just want to use the Fire Rod. Fire Rod will kill him instantly as well.
Fire Rod is my preferred method, although sometimes one of those segments flies off and smacks you with the Fire Rod.
Yeah, you generally want to try and avoid standing like directly perpendicular, so that the bouncing segments don't nail you. And then if you have Butter Sword, you can just either spin or slash him twice. But chasing around the last couple segments with Tempered Swings is generally not advised. Because those Pokies, they hurt quite a bit, even with Blue Mail.
Everything in Turtle Rock hurts quite a bit, even with Blue Mail.
Still not going over to where that big key is. Yeah, something to keep in mind with Turtle Rock's item distribution. If you don't find the big key in those first 3 chests from the the main starting lobby, then the big key is in that that pipe room chest, because there's everything else from this point on in the dungeon is locked behind the big key.
Oh, he's gotten down to 2 hearts again. Those Pokies doing a number on him.
Has extra potions. He really needs to consider putting them to use here.
He can't advance here. He doesn't have the big key.
Yeah, probably realizes that. Checking the menu there just to confirm that yes, he does not have the big key. But he's still gonna head this way. He needs to back up and take the other pipe in the big maze room.
Oh, if you just get to the center, you can throw the bomb. As long as you're facing away from the eyes, you'll be fine.
The left, middle, and right eyes there won't shoot as long as you don't face them. So you can actually just like pick up a bomb as soon as you enter that room, walk up to the pot and throw it, and just as long as you don't face upward, that middle eye will never shoot at you. He's gonna check Mimic Cave. He's got to be careful here because he's on low health.
If he dies, this is gonna be very tragic.
Yeah, if he walks into a Mimic, since he is currently technically not in the dungeon, that's gonna give him overworld respawns, and he's gonna have to walk all the way back up to Turtle Rock. And I mean, it seems a little out there to die to a Mimic Cave because, you know, their movement depends on yours. They're just green mimics, they'll shoot at you. But I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen from pretty high-level racers. Go just ask Problems IRL. He's done exactly that.
I think, Kermit, I think you should probably just play your normal game and just hope for the best.
And there we go. With a full realization setting in that he is lacking the big key, he's going to have to backtrack and find it.
And there's death. And he's going to, luckily he'll spawn by the big chest.
Yeah, I'm sure as he zips past that chest, he'll notice it and realize where he has to go. Yeah, there we go. Taking the other pipe. There we go. Nice spin on the pokey.
Yeah, he seems to know how to kill those guys. They're just hard to kill in order to get it properly. But he's doing a pretty good job. It's just when the initial spin doesn't work out and he's got to deal with the bouncing heads that he's been taking a lot of damage.
Seeing the same little rounding hiccup here that we saw from mfFylion, just taking the pipe all the way out here. You don't need to take the pipe all the way out there. It's much more efficient to just backtrack after that chest. Because this pipe right here is really long. And actually, Spiffers raises a good point, since he is coming from the big chest. It's actually better than any of that to mirror immediately after he hits the big key.
Well, maybe he'll die, and... Oh, no, he's gonna head left.
And he's gonna loop around back to the big chest again.
Yeah.
Yeah, mirror, the option of mirroring just kind of slipped in his mind there. Which, you know, to be fair, it slipped my mind too. So gonna get his yummy tasty burrito out of that big chest, and gonna be heading for the last few sections of Turtle Rock.
Oh god, and I don't think there's anything in these pots either. There's the death.
Yeah, there might be a heart under one of those pots, but I'm not sure about that. I think they might just all be empty. And that death isn't too costly, though. Warps him right back here by the big chest. It's right by where he just was. And yeah, this is another case where, yeah, like, really does not need to be concerning himself with this pokey, but, you know, again, maybe thinks that there might be a chest that spawns or something. And, yeah, not quite sure which way he needs to go here. He's going to go right first, which, I think there's a rupee room in here. Yeah, okay, yeah, so you gotta kill all the blobs, and then the block can move. Yeah, I think this is the one that's I think it's just a few rollers and a big room full of blue rupees. Yeah.
Back on track. Yeah, that's a room that you don't normally see. There's been a lot of screens like this where he just goes into rooms that it's like, oh, yeah, this room exists. We saw him go into the tile room in this dungeon earlier.
Yeah, required small key in here, so almost done here. Just needs to clear the dark room here. He's on kind of low health, so needs to be careful. But yeah, Dr. J really needs to, you know, this is something that you and I always talk about, especially like in the Necrodancer series as we commentated. You know, knowing to use our resources. Jay's been sitting on potions for quite some time, and it's been taking a lot of deaths without using his potions.
He also doesn't know this room. He's gonna find the magic here. Yeah, know what you have. Know the items that you have and try to use them as best you can. That's how you gain an advantage, and that's also how you just like finish the seed. Like,
Okay, he found his way to the button. Needs to just to make his way back to the exit. This room is an absolute nightmare if you don't know the proper route through. I think he's got it. Yeah, there we go.
It took me forever, but it's actually like quite easy once you learn it. You don't mess it up after again. Oh, please make it through.
Yeah, we really want to see him reach this exit to the south so they can establish that new checkpoint.
Okay,
looks like he's gonna make it. Oh
no! Why didn't you go outside?
Oh, just yeah, just going for that chest and is gonna go down, and that's gonna boot him back to the big chest again. At least at this point he knows where he has to go from here. And the door will stay open, so he just has to walk out of it.
He's looking. Nothing there for you. Alright. Gonna be quick to get back there.
And provided he can like kind of retrace his footsteps through this room and find his way to the. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
right on track.
It's not quick in like race terms, but it's still like pretty quick.
Alright, yeah, just kind of taking this route, the same route he took last time. Not the most efficient route, but it will get him there.
Hey, it worked the first time. Don't mess with it.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know the, you know, if you don't know the room backwards and forwards and don't know the most efficient route, then just do what works.
He's trying laser skips.
I think, like, he knows the laser skips are a thing, but, like, doesn't quite know. Okay, he's just gonna take the key and go for Trinex.
He got the key, that's what he needs. Unfortunately, Powder is in...
Powder is in the laser hall, that's right. And, yeah, with the decision to just go for Trinex, just book it. He's gonna miss on that little bit of safety. Not establishing the checkpoint either, so if he dies to Trinex, then it's all the way back to the big chest again.
Oh man, I really want to see that. It'd be so tragic. No, he didn't.
I'm rooting for him. I believe.
He's missing these shots. He can't really miss any more shots.
Yeah, he has potions on deck, but he, more importantly, he can't take damage. He needs to dodge these attacks from Trinex.
Alright, there's the...
and down he goes, eating a lunge to the face. Trinex packs quite a wallop even with blue mail. Oh, and now he has no magic. He's not gonna have the magic to get through the dark room. He needs to pick up more. Either use one of his potions. I mean, he has, I think, like 2 blue potions and a green potion. He really should consider chugging one of them. And he's about to get to the room and realize the problem he's got on his hands. Okay, there we go. Drinking a green potion. There we go.
That's the correct one, too.
Should really consider going back to Laser Hall and setting the checkpoint, if not cleaning out the rest of Laser Hall to look for additional safety. I mean, you know, we know that there is a pretty substantial safety item available for him in there. Nope, he's just gonna go straight for Trinix again.
Alright, please.
Oh yeah, that might be true, Fluff. Yeah, in vanilla, when you know, mouse over the bottles, so to speak, it just immediately pulls up your full list of bottles and what they contain. I'm not quite sure where he's going. Is there, like, health available in one of these pots or something?
I think he's checking for them.
But, yeah, in vanilla, when you mouse over the bottles, it just automatically pulls up the full list of what you've got. It's possible that he just, like, has been looking at his menu and been saying, oh, there's just an empty bottle there. I just have one empty bottle. But yeah, in Randomizer, it's reconfigured so that you have to toggle it with the I think the Y button, the Y or the X button, to see your full list of potions. I think Y like cycles between them, and X pulls up that that menu that you get in vanilla. So yeah, getting a little heart drop from the pokey, but taking a hit from it in the process. So you know, kind of a wash on that front. Has enough health to eat a couple hits, but still needs to play this fairly tight.
If you're was willing to spend a blue potion, you could be pretty good. He gets the first hit. He's gonna try to spin? That's not...
Yeah, the spin takes too long to wind up, and the recoil, the extra recoil you get from it is really huge. It's gonna push you far away.
Please use the blue potion. He's gonna do it.
Okay, yeah. He, as we were talking about before, you can't pull up the item menu when a boss is exploding. So I think it was probably just really mashing on that menu to pull up that potion as soon as he could.
All right, it's down to Trinix proper, and he dodges his head.
Final phase. Before the body segment starts flashing, you can hit him anywhere. Hit him on the head. That's two hits. One of them is a spin, so it just needs a couple more hits.
Please. Oh. Okay, I think
one more does it.
Oh,
nice. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really did not need to see him die again. That would have broken my heart.
Dr. J does not have silvers. Silvers are in purple chest, and he has not done the Village of Outcasts item chain over there with the breadsmiths, the peg cave, and all that. So silvers are pretty out of the way. There's a good chance he's not going to find them. Unless he's going in with the mindset of I'm not fighting Ganon until I find silvers, and he goes looking for them. He's going to be doing a silverless Ganon. On the plus side, we know he's going to be finding that half magic. The half magic was on the torch, and with the big key on the left side, there's no way he's missing that. Yeah, it's unfortunate. If he's depending on the Ganon clue, Ganon gives you a clue about where the silver arrows are before you start the last phase. But if it's an overworld location, you're just going to get one of those vague. Did you find it in the dark one? Oh, he's going to check the ether tablet.
Nice. Hey, I told you, it's always something.
Yeah, you're saying it's always a sword. Let's see how that stands
when I
up.
remember, look, when I remember, all the ones I remember is a sword. Look at that. Look, arrows. That's the same thing as a sword.
Yeah,
it's a weapon.
Clearly. I mean, like, you know, it's a gold vertical stick. You know, it looks kind of like the butter sword. I could see it.
Yeah. I'm getting a little tired, so my eyes aren't as focused. So I'm pretty sure that was butter sword.
Yeah. He's got butter. Trust us. So yeah, going straight left here, you're gonna see that half magic upgrade immediately. And yeah, that's a really nice find. That's going to be a ton of extra safety. Unfortunately, although, yeah, on the subject of safety for the end game, we saw Phylion use it a little bit against Ganon, but Dr. J has never checked Skullwood, so he missed out on that magic cape, which is a pretty useful tool for fighting Ganon safely. Not going to be able to use cape against the first phases. Could use Cane of Burma, which is actually more magic efficient, but you got to be prepared for the game to become an absolute slideshow when that happens, because that spark flying around Link on top of all the fire bats and stuff, the game, you know, the poor Super Nintendo only has so much power to it. It just can't keep up.
I'm looking for the silvers in these chests before he goes up.
Yeah, might be. Gets a shield upgrade. I'm just gonna mirror out. It looks like maybe he's just gonna climb.
Okay. Oh, I'm really worried about Silverless Ganon.
Yeah, this Silverless scanning can be pretty tough if you're not too familiar with it. And I mean, this climb can be tricky too, especially lacking the powder for the safety from powdering anti-fairies. Speaking of which, this anti-fairy right here giving him a lot of grief. And this is another one of those situations, I think, where he's too fixated on fighting every enemy in the room. Like, the position this red mimic is in, if you just go for the push block, he's never really any concern. But yeah, the determination to take him out cost him a lot of health. He started this climb with full health, and now he's only down to 6 hearts.
Oh, he's down to 3, and he doesn't have any potions anymore either, or powder.
Yeah, spent all his potions in Turtle Rock and never checked the rest of Laser Hall, so missed the powder.
Alright, this is a slow but safe strat, as long as you dodge the spikes.
Thanks, Ninvan, for keeping up with our assessment that he does, in fact, have butter.
Clearly.
The tracker says so, it must be true.
Yeah. The tracker is canon. These don't have hearts, they just have arrows.
Yeah, this is really scary. He's got to watch these Beamos with 1 heart, and down he goes to the Beamos. Yeah, I wish that he had checked the rest of Laser Hall. That the powder would be saving him so much trouble. Could diagonally through here to hit the switch on the right. Okay, I guess maybe not. Looks like it just barely clips the pot instead of hitting the switch.
Just lose a lot of health in this room again, trying to kill this mimic.
Okay, it does eventually get it, but yeah, again, losing quite a bit of health going for that. And yeah, without that powder and without potions, health's going to be a bit of a premium. He does, however, have the bug net. Something to keep in mind. If he can make it to Fairy Room, and if he visits that and stocks up, I think that could really help him out. Yeah, a little bit of a slow start there, but it works out. Yeah, something to keep in mind, you can reposition the mimics by just, like, you can make them move while you're swinging your sword. Pushing the directional buttons will make them move, but since you're stuck in the animation of swinging the sword, you don't move. It's a pretty easy way to get them into the positions you want them to. You can also kind of hold your sword out, you know, charge a spin. And that makes it so that you can line up a shot without ever actually having them turn towards you to shoot a fireball. Lots of ways you can make the red mimic fights a lot easier.
Is he gonna get this last one?
Yeah, just needs to get... I think he's already hit this one once. Just needs to hit it one more time. Unfortunately, yeah, just trying to dance around Bemo's fire while he's doing so. It's a little tricky. Okay, no, I guess he hadn't this one yet.
Oh.
There we go, got it. Alright. So if he can make it through 2 more rooms, he can reach the Fairy Room and restock on health. Should consider that cane of using that cane of Burma, perhaps.
I made it through those spikes. Okay. I was gonna try to kill these guys. Alright.
Alright, kill the Igors, just needs to get past these spikes again.
I would put him down and then try to get him back up when there's less. Oh, he did it anyway.
There we go.
He's a pro.
Alright, so at the end of this cannonball hallway, if he knows about it, he can bonk across the gap to get to the Fairy Room here for a nice health refill. Whoa!
Don't take a
little
hit.
bit of an aggressive dash. Okay, yeah. Setting up the bomb throw here. There we go.
Got it.
Getting over to the Fairy Room, that's going to be a nice health refill for him. There's also full magic under the bottom pot here. And now he'll be able to resume his gauntlet climb with full health and full magic. Definitely going to make it a lot more doable. Oh, that fairy drop could have caught it with the bug net. That just kind of walked right into it. Pretty clean gauntlet so far. Can you respawn them in Bottle of Fairies? I believe if you leave the floor, like if you climb up the stairs and then go back down, I think they'll respawn them. I'm not sure about that though. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, you missed. You can dash at the start of that room.
Yeah, this room can be really tricky if it gets off the rails. You know, this second horse head can just kind of run around.
All right, you managed it.
Put his shoes on. And those Beamos are really hard to predict with the you know, the double rotation you get from them being on a spinning conveyor belt.
All right. Okay. Let's see if the landless fight can be.
He wants these extra hearts on the pots, but I think he's gonna take more damage than he's gonna get back in health.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. All right, Limbo 2.
Does at least have the level 2 shield, which will block the fireballs from the turret here. Alright, one worm down. He does get one extra heart under a pot in the next room here. I'll patch him up a little bit. And he's not too far off from the top now. Just 2 more floors to go.
I can use Ether here to
Yeah, Aether's not bad. Popped a little prematurely though. The Wizrobes weren't vulnerable yet, but it does give him a reminder of where the floor is in this room, if that's what he was after. And a nice little heart drop there. Just gonna fetch it with the boomerang, make sure he doesn't walk off the ledge.
I probably wouldn't have thought of that. Actually, I would have just fallen off.
He's got to be careful here. He does not want to be taking Wizrobe hits. And the Wizrobe shots are really funky here. They actually are affected by the conveyor.
Very important to get that green rupee.
Oh, another heart drop. He's getting pretty nice heart drops. It's keeping him alive here.
Oh, the bonk. Okay, all right. And another heart drop. Okay. All right. He gained a half a heart in that room, and now he's got to do the torch room.
Okay, I think he's just gonna play it safe here. Probably just kind of like follow clockwise with the fire bar.
He's conserving magic when he doesn't really need to be.
I think there's a heart under that one in front of the bottom torch. Either a heart or a small magic. Not gonna get it anyway. That does clear the room out. Be careful, getting a little panicked about these lasers, but gonna get upstairs.
No!
Needs to reset this room. Just needs to take a dive and reset it.
Oh,
can't afford to keep walking into spark like that. He is on half a heart. You want to go straight right. You don't want to... Oh,
okay.
Just barely squeezes by him, but he's not in the woods yet. He's got to avoid taking him in this
Please
room.
tell me there's a half a heart. There's a full heart refill in this.
Oh, this Sank heart would be amazing right now. Or a piece of heart to give him.
No, it's not enough.
Wasn't enough for him. And if you had powder, the next room would be super good. There's double fairies for you in the next room if you have powder. I think there might be some hearts under the pots. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Calls it in. There we go. Oh man, he's got to be so careful here. Oh, he is so scared of that anti-fairy. I can't blame him. Okay, there we go.
There's a heart.
Okay, so he's got one hit to play with now.
What's in that chest? Oh, he doesn't know. Come on. I think it's a small key, actually.
Yeah, I think Phylion opened that, and I think it was just like $20 or something. If I'm remembering right.
Oh, he made it.
Just gonna get out of this room. Heart and a half. But he's got a couple tricky rooms ahead. First we got Moldorm 2. Okay. Takes him out.
Yeah, validation was also 20 rupees, wasn't it?
Yeah. So validation chest is not gonna help him here. He's got to survive the last room before Aghanim, which can be really tricky if you don't know a good setup for it.
Oh, then he has to survive Aghanim. You can die on Aghanim.
Yeah. This room can get really hairy if it kind of gets out of control. Okay, he does kill the Helmosaur immediately.
He's gonna try to kill these Helmosaurs.
Oh, he almost got pushed into the spike.
He's gonna try to kill him to farm up health, but
no! Recoiling into the spike pit, and down he goes. One room from the Aghanim fight, and that's gonna send him back to the entrance. Okay, it looks like he wants to... Maybe he's gonna check some of the other basement... Okay, no, I think that was just an accident. I was thinking he might be checking the basement chest, looking for, like, a red mail, or, you know, powder or something. We obviously know powder's not down there, but... And again, you know, it's important to know what you have available to you and, like, what you can use, you know, in a given situation. For a lot of that duration, Dr. J is sitting on a full magic meter in Cane of Burma with no health. Definitely worth considering swapping over to Cane of Burma for the invincibility to get through some of those tricky situations. A little bit of a pause coming out here. Okay.
Oh, he doesn't know how to reposition these guys. The Mimics is where he's lost most of his health in these rooms.
Yeah, and that's just, you know, a matter of, like, knowing, you know, some of the tricks you can do to maneuver them, and, you know, outside of the intended methods. Holding your sword out to get on their sides, or, you know, swinging your sword while pushing movement. Okay, it looks like he's just trying to group them up together. That's a good idea.
This is gonna work. He's just worried about the BMOS. Alright.
Yeah, getting out of that room with a lot more health than he did last time, if I'm remembering right. No need to walk past these first few spikes. You can jump off the ledge past him. Looks like he wants to try and set them up for a bit. Okay, just going for the same setup he had last time. Yeah, there you go. That works.
Oh, he's already aggroed the Igors.
Only one of them. Yeah, he aggroed it when he went up by the door earlier. And checking to make sure that the aggro didn't drop a heart or something. Alright, there we go. He's already demonstrated that he can get into the fairy room no problem, so I'm sure we'll see him do that again. Alright, here we go. Gauntlet take 2.
Hey, he had a pretty good gauntlet last time. It was, some of the other rooms he was really
Alright,
with.
if he's thinking about it, okay, yes, bugnet. Yes, there we go. That's a lot of extra safety he's got in his pocket now. Fairy in a bottle being a, I believe, is it 7 or 8 heart auto revive on death?
I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I don't think about.
Alright, so far flawless, so no damage. As I say that as he takes a hit from Spike there. 7 hearts, okay, thanks. Using the hookshot here to stun, which actually reveals something I don't think we've really noted yet, that the stun drop for the seed is a single bomb. Not really going to help him here.
It would have been nice if it was a heart. Normally it wouldn't be something that you would care about, but in a situation like this...
So, yeah, I haven't really talked about that, but something that is in the game, even in vanilla, is that there's a specific item designated for stun drops. Like when you kill an enemy that's stunned, they will always drop the same thing. In vanilla, that's just a single rupee, but in randomizer, that
down to 3 hearts
as well. So
he's down to 2 hearts.
Yeah, this is getting a little shaky. We might be seeing that fairy get chugged early.
Oh,
yeah.
There it is. Oh, he really needs to just use his cape.
Yeah, the cane of Burma is just calling his name here.
Oh, he didn't have the cape. He needs the cane, yeah.
Honestly, the cape the cane is even better than the cape in this situation, I would say. It's going to be dealing damage, and it consumes magic at a slower rate than the cape. It's just that the cape's better for things like fighting Ganon, where the Cane of Burma causes excruciating amounts of lag. Phyllion found the powder in Laser Hall. He opened the chests in Laser Hall in the opposite order from Jay, who and that resulted in him finding the key last. Jay just found the key, like opened the first chest and found the key, and just immediately went into go mode and went to Trinix. Okay, one more spin should do it on this Landmouse, but yeah, unfortunately with that gauntlet being a lot rougher than the first time around, so his health situation is not too great. Pretty good Landmouse fight though. Gonna get that one extra heart from under the pot coming up here. Oh, nice extra heart drop there. Pretty similar health state he was in last time at this point.
Alright, come on. I think one of these dropped a fairy, or can drop a fairy.
It looks like he got a heart from that second kill.
Alright.
So he's up to 6. I think he's actually better off than he was last time, very slightly.
Yeah, you would think it was at 4.5 for the last one. And there's another heart. All this magic that he ends up picking up, and he's not using his magic at all.
I'm actually seeing, like, I'm noting that we're seeing almost identical drops to the first time he was climbing Ganon's tower. I imagine it's probably something to do with, like, the way the kill counters and the prize pools work relative to the fact that he's, you know, like, dying and probably resetting those counters. Because we saw that fairy in the same room with the gauntlet. We saw that heart and that full magic drop on that bridge encounter.
He's gonna use his lantern here.
Saving a little magic. Yeah, I think that's fine. Hoping for health drops from one of those Helmas. Yeah, that's Mikey is actually right there. He was pretty close to getting the despawn there. If you climb those stairs with all the laser eyes,
nope.
On the same frame of doors, that the torch goes out and the door closes behind you, you trigger a bug which despawns like all of the entities from Ganon's tower. Okay, there is a heart in that last spot. But...
Oh, he managed to get it. Oh my god.
Right, now his health's a lot better than it was the first time around. He doesn't even have to refight Moldorm here. The chest will still be spawned. He can just hook shot straight across. I don't think he realizes that, though. That, or he just really wants to kill Moldorm. Thankfully not landing on spikes there. Oh! Actually, he might farm the Wizardobes for health here. Yeah,
they do drop hearts, so...
Yeah, they do drop hearts occasionally, so it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Cut it out.
Yeah, he can get himself back up to full health, and with full health, I think he should definitely be able to clear the rest of Ganon's tower. He is just 3 rooms away.
Yeah, and
they're dropping hearts pretty frequently, so this shouldn't take too long.
Once he gets past Aghanim, then he's got a nice checkpoint there for the Ganon fight, and you can go buy some more potions for it too.
Okay, he's getting a heart like every wave or two. Okay, looks like he's decided that's enough. 12 hearts, he's comfortable with that. He's just gonna go. And immediately Moldorm just Just checking him right off the edge of the platform again.
Alright,
okay, there's the kill. And now he realizes that the chest was there the whole time.
He can't hook shot across yet because of the cutscene.
Yeah, has to wait for the explosion to finish so he can open the menu. Alright, so here's the room that got him last time. Now the ideal strat is you just kind of want to, like, maybe probably hookshot that first Helmasaur and then just dash straight up the middle. But he's looking to kill everything out of here. Probably wants that heart drop as well.
It's way more trouble than it's worth.
He just despawned, but oh, there's another one. And there we go. He's done with the last room of Ganon's tower. Now he just has to beat Aghanim. And Aghanim actually, I don't think does much damage with that blue mail. I think he's just going to be doing like 1 heart hits.
There's one.
1 hit, 5 to go. Yeah, could use the bug net. That is true.
Oh, you got a hit. Oh, he sniped him. That was really nice. Oh, maybe double here?
Yeah, nice double.
Yeah,
that's the 4 hits. 2 to go. 1 more.
Yes.
Nice hit. There we go. So
There's
all that
Ganon's
stands
tower.
between Jay and the Triforce is Ganon. But yeah, it is going to be a difficult Ganon fight because he never found those silver arrows. Yeah, he's actually gonna pass on the Ganon fight for right now. I think he's heading for the Witch's Shop. Just would be better to just mirror and flute from here. But, no, actually, maybe he's just gonna go looking for silvers. Because this is not where you go to get potions.
Where were silvers?
Silvers were in purple chest.
Oh no.
Yeah, he might be looking to do Pyramid Fairy.
Okay, if he's just doing that and then going back in, that won't be too bad. Like, he can make this fight pretty safe by getting 3 potions.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Going in the bomb shop, so he's going to open up Pyramid Fairy, probably hoping for that arrow booster. That's totally an arrow booster, and not Butter Sword. Or red mail is something else that could be handy.
How much overall does he have to do? He basically just has the blacksmiths, I believe, but he also has the book, so he has a couple places now where he can go with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly if how much of a world check. He hasn't checked Skull Woods because that's where the cake came from. But we are going to see what's in Pyramid Fairy. Could be a mail upgrade, which would benefit him greatly. Sword upgrade as well. We're about to find out. Shield upgrade. And a piece of heart, which is a health refill.
Okay, alright. That's good. Silvers are at purple chest. No, it looks like he's leaving and going to look for silvers.
Yeah, which depending how familiar you are with the game, I mean, honestly, until I started watching speedruns, I didn't even know you could kill Ganon without the silver arrows. I thought they were just 100% required. It's just one of those, little kind of niche things that you wouldn't know if all you know is like just playing through the game casually.
All right. Well, unfortunately, it's getting really late for me, and I need to head out because I have an early day tomorrow. So, thanks for having me on commentary, everybody, and thanks you guys for watching. And I hope.
I think he's heading for them. I think he's heading for them.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get this pretty soon if he follows the purple chest quest. So, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. There's that purple chest. So we will see him getting the silver arrows very soon. And then I imagine once he has those silver arrows, he'll probably go for Ganon. Yeah, again, I can't emphasize like how how great it is that he's seeing this through to completion. There's been a lot of roadblocks for him throughout this run, but it's really nice to see him pushing through, sticking it out. Yep, there we go, silver arrows! So that's it. I believe, yeah, Dr. J is probably going to consider that go mode and just go for the Ganon fight at this point. The thing he's got to keep in mind is, he did kill Aghanim, so he does actually have the, I've almost forgotten he killed Aghanim. So he has the Dark World portal in the palace, he can just head straight there. Oh, gonna go for potions first. Good decision. And going back to the house and gonna be heading straight for the pyramid. Ready to take on Ganon. Presumably that last sword upgrade is probably in Ganon's tower somewhere, since there's a lot of stuff we didn't see in there.
A wonderful good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, hello. Everyone say hi to Herfy Durfy, who will be substituting. He's our substitute Jack of Games for the last stretch of this run.
Yeah, I'm just jumping in here to give you a little help on this Ganon fight.
And Ganon would like to know what kind of burrito you would be.
You know, I think Link to the Past has really messed up burritos for me for the rest of time.
You know, in A Link to the Past, there's only two kinds of burritos: vanilla and not vanilla.
Oh man, I've never had a vanilla burrito.
Well, I've had plenty of them over the course of Link to the Past Randomizer, I can tell you that much. They do not taste great. I could do without another vanilla burrito for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I can absolutely imagine that. Looks like Dr. J is making good use of his potions that he just bought.
And as I was mentioning, like, if he really wants to play it safe, he does have that Cane of Burma. It's going to eviscerate the game's frame rate. Like, I've had times where I've gone into Ganon fight with, like, low health and, you know, not many resources, but I have plenty of magic in Cane of Burma, so I'm like, well, guess we'll pop it for safety, and it's like, it drops to single-digit frames, I think. It's pretty bad.
It is quite awful, like...
But if you want to make sure you survive, it's a way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. The lag probably still beats dying a couple times, so...
I mean, yeah, I think Jay kind of getting stuck at, like, really stuck in the mindset of I want to spin again. And, you know, it's understandable. Spins do double damage. But the thing is, the spins have long windups, and also, like, a big recoil. You recoil away from Ganon, and, you know, you're locked in that spin animation, so you can't immediately start walking back towards him. In most cases, spins are not actually what you want to do in this fight. In fact, yeah, like, right there, like, going for the spin and almost connected, but before it actually like swung down to Ganon, the fire bat interrupted it, so it didn't actually do any damage there. Almost okay on his last blue potion, but I think he's almost done with this phase, so hopefully be fine.
Yeah, he should hopefully be good very soon.
Yeah, there we go. Done with the first 2 phases, so just needs to hit Ganon a couple times. Yeah, you definitely don't need to spin here. Once you get past the first 2 phases, any amount of damage will advance the fight. So you can just swipe him here. Yeah, he's just switched to regular swings here.
And I do hope he realizes how to switch to the silver arrows in the menu, because he just switched to the regular arrows and hasn't yet switched to the silvers.
That is something that was added in Randomizer, because silver arrows generate a ton of lag, so there's actually plenty of cases where if you're being optimal, you'd actually just want normal arrows. He's not on silvers. Look at the big flashing Y. Press Y, please.
Come on, Dr. J.
Oh
Nope,
no!
wrong one.
Oh no!
Please press Y.
Please press Y.
You can do it, Dr. J. Oh no, no,
oh,
no!
He's semi-quitting!
Oh no!
Oh no! I think he just thinks like the fight was bugged or something and is leaving.
Yeah, he might think he hasn't gotten the silvers yet, even though he obviously got them out of the chest, but please just press Y.
But yeah, that's as I was saying, that's not something that's in vanilla. Like when you have silvers, you just have silvers, and your bow always shoots silvers. Like when you're talking vanilla. But since the silvers are at a ton of lag, and there's plenty of times where you'd want to just use normal arrows, they added a toggle to use normal arrows, and that toggle defaults to off. It defaults to just the normal arrows until you toggle on the silvers. So if you're just familiar with vanilla, that's something that might trip you up. But they added that little Y bubble next to it to indicate that there's something you can do by pressing Y. But he just seems to be confused and I'm not sure where he's going.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I think he thinks that it's bugged and he's going back to get silvers again.
Yeah,
I think it's what he's trying to do.
Oh, Dr. J. I wonder what his next step will be once he realizes the purple chest isn't there anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely heading straight to the purple chest. Oh, yeah. Looks like he just forfeit.
Oh, no. That's sadly very unfortunate. He stuck it out for so long.
Yeah, he stuck it out for so long.
Oh, that's very sad. That really makes me sad. He had everything he needed. He just didn't know about this one little mechanic in the randomizer that if you're not familiar with it or never heard about it before, how will you know?
Yeah, since he's already forfeit, I told him in the race channel that you have to press Y.
And there he goes. Maybe he'll still finish up his seat despite forfeiting. I mean, he really only has the Ganon fight left at this point. All right. It looks like he is ready to finish this.
Okay, yeah, looks like he's he's gonna undone and go ahead and finish that. I mean, technically, you know, we violated the rules of no spoilers by telling him that you can toggle silvers like that, but I don't think anyone will fault us.
Yeah, I mean, he's close to 4 hours. It's very clear that he's lost this race, so it should be fine. I think that's
Restock
just
up potions and then go back to Ganon.
Yep, very good idea. Has no problems with the money at all. Can just restock right away.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, this is mainly just like a, you know, I want to see players learn and improve.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we just let him get frustrated with the silver, like not knowing how silvers work, and just let him forfeit and leave, I think it's not doing anyone any favors. So well stocked on blue goo, 3 bottles full of it, and it's gonna be heading straight back to Ganon.
Yep. Almost at full hearts, almost at full magic. 62 silver arrows should hopefully be enough to get that pig down.
Yeah. This, see, being a near full clear for both the runners here, I'm finding, like, all of the arrow and bomb boosters. 40 bombs and 62 arrows. Pretty hefty counts there.
And we get the burrito question again.
Okay, yeah, there we go. You just want to use normal swings like this. Just going for spins on every hit is not worth it.
Yeah, awesome. Looks like he's already improved from like 10 minutes ago, so...
Okay, yeah, there we go. That should be the first phase. It's with Tempered, it's 12 hits per phase on these first 2. Spins do double. I think he's at 5 hits, maybe?
Yeah, I think around 5. I didn't really count, to be honest, but he shouldn't be too far away, and he seems to be making good progress.
Okay, first blue potion gets spent there. Just playing this fight pretty safe, just keeping his distance during the fire rings. Trying to sneak in some hits here, though. I think I've lost count. I think he's around 10 or so, though. I think he might be in the next phase now.
Yeah, I think he just moved.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hasn't drank that potion yet, but he's got it on deck.
Yeah, probably knows that if he hits him fast enough here, he's not even going to spit out a fire bat, so he's not really in much danger unless he gets hugged.
Okay, yeah, there we go. End of phase 3. Now it's just 4 silver arrows stand between him and Triforce. There's one.
The first one.
Oh! Almost getting knocked into the pit there. Close call. Wisely using a blue potion there.
Alright,
One more hit to go.
Arrow. One more to go.
And down goes Ganon!
A big GG to Dr. J for sticking it out all this time and finishing up the seed.
Yeah, mad props to him. Definitely a bit of a, you know, an endurance game for him there, but finishing with an SRL time of 3:45.08.
Yeah, as you say, absolutely mad props for him for sticking it out for so long. I'm sure he's learned a lot from just playing the seat, and he'll probably learn a lot more from watching back the VOD.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, since I came in here pretty late, I have to give absolutely crazy props to you, to Jack who just left, and also to your tracker Ninban, because you guys stuck it out for so long.
It's definitely been enjoyable. Yeah, I love this game. I love this community. It's great to contribute like this. And yeah, similar thanks as well. I'd like to thank Jack for joining me for most of this, and to you, Herpy for jumping in and covering the home stretch, and Ninban for the tracking, to Alvi for handling the restreaming, and all the tournament organizers and stuff. I hope to be able to commentate for more matches later. We'll see if that happens, but you know, it's such a big community. There's so many people who want to commentate.
Yeah, it's quite crazy.
And, you know, it's a great problem to have from from my perspective. Like, sure, I don't get to commentate all the time, but it's because we just have a community that's crazy interested in doing it. Everyone wants to get in.
It's quite highly coveted, and it's really fun, I have to say. Like, I'm super addicted to commenting almost as much as I am to playing the randos.
Yeah, for those who maybe are just starting to get into following the tournament, there are plenty of channels you can follow if you want to see more randomizer, Link to the Past randomizer races like this. You know, we're on Randomizer Mania 2. There's also Randomizer Manias 1 and 3, and also races are being posted on the Speed Gaming 2 and Speed Gaming 3 channels, I believe. I think that's all of them, right?
I think there's even a Randomizer Mania 4.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it looks like there's actually a Speed Gaming 4 and a Randomizer Mania 4 channel as well. So if you want to make sure that you are catching these races, make sure you give all those some follows.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretty much say that I'm obviously of the same sentiment as you. I'm not going to repeat all the things.
Okay.
Though I do want to thank you guys for having me for the last like 10-ish minutes of this crazy
Yeah, Dr.
run.
J did just leave a comment in the race room saying, "Not bad for my first completed run." So this was, in fact, his first time completing a randomizer run. So yeah, that deserves a big congrats all on its own, for sure.
Under 4 hours for your very first randomizer sheet is pretty amazing, I'd say. Usually people say they take around 5 to 6 hours to finish their first rando ever.
Yeah, I think I don't remember the exact number, but I'm pretty sure I took at least 3 on my first. And that was after watching a number of streamers do like dozens and dozens of runs. I'm like, you know, I've watched this 100 times over. I know how this works. I can do it easy. And then look at me taking, you know, over 3 hours. When I've watched, like, you know, dozens of hour-and-a-half runs. It can be pretty rough if you don't have the experience. So, yeah, again, big congrats to Jay for his completion.
Yeah, absolutely big props to him. And another thing to consider for him is he started his first rando run on an open mode seed, not even standard, so that's even crazier.
Yeah, no guaranteed sword. You know, at least this seed was pretty nice and handed them one pretty quickly. But it does make the routing quite a bit trickier, having to work that Hyrule Castle check into the mix. The backlash stick sleeps again forever. Neither racer picking up that backlash stick. No blue boomerang. Really is a pity.
Clearly the superior boomerang, but apparently not good enough to clear all the pendant dungeons for it.
Yeah, Taggerneth, based on what he was saying in the race channel. Yeah, this was his. I don't know if it was his first time ever playing Randomizer, but it was at least the first time he ever cleared a Randomizer, from what he said.
All right, so I don't know if he wants to come in for a post-game interview, or if you have time for that anymore, or if you want to do that.
Yeah, I can ask him if he's still on the race channel. I don't know if he's even still there, though.
Yeah, he might not be. I mean, after almost 4 hours of playing this nonstop, he probably needs a little bit of a bathroom break and to wind down.
Or then, depending what his time zone is. Like for me, it's 1:30 in the morning. Might have just headed straight to bed.
Yeah, good point.
Are coming up on his stats pretty soon, though. Okay, yeah, Sports Chef is telling me in chat that he played in the Zelda 2 randomizer tourney, so he's got some randomization experience. Just maybe not with the not with the Link to the Past specifically. Okay, looks like he's up for an interview, so hopefully get him in here soon. Heyo, Dr. J.
Hey.
Congrats on the clear, man.
Oh, thanks.
Not too many people would be willing to make their first randomizer clear in a tournament setting.
Yeah.
So I really have to applaud you for that.
Oh, thanks.
And for really sticking it out. Even I mean, you know, you've got the race channel off, and you saw you saw when mfFylion finished. What were your thoughts when you saw that roll in?
It wasn't terribly surprising. I thought I was doing pretty well until it just took me so long to figure out where the hook shot was, because that opened up the rest of the seed.
Yeah, we were lamenting it so much how you just seemed to have that flash of inspiration. We're heading for Ice Rod Cave almost immediately, which was the beginning of that item chain, and you just got taken out by one of those crabs, and then just kind of skipped out on Ice Rod Cave for a while after that. And then, yeah, when it was Waterfall Cave that was missing, we were worried about, have you, was the last time you played Randomizer, pre-V26, do you know about the Waterfall Fairy chests? Because that's something we've seen some racers, struggle with when V26 came out and they added those chests, and, lose races to just not knowing those items existed. But, yeah, it's good to see that you were able to work your way through it, even after the unnecessary Aghanim play. But yeah, we're really concerned because we're Aghanim's tower is generally not where you want to be unless you are sure there's no other options. But
yeah, that's what I figured it was just no other options at that point, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, that's right, fairies.
Yeah, we were wondering about, because you were looking at all of the assorted cave fairies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just wasn't sure where the extra items were, which fairy it was.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure which other ones had chests, but then as we found out in IRC, this was the first time I've actually played this in a race environment, so.
Yeah, well done. Certainly a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, it's definitely be playing this more. I mean, mostly Zelda 1 Randomizer Racers, Zelda 2 every now and then, but yeah, gonna be playing this more too.
Yeah, we would be super glad to have you. It was a very entertaining race to watch.
Glad to do it.
Yeah, I sadly only jumped in for a replacement here because Jack had to go to bed and only caught the last part of you fighting against Ganon. But also crazy props from me. I think it's great that runners are sticking it out, and it's even crazier and more props worthy that you had your first completed rando as basically your tournament match here.
Yeah, it's certainly a way to learn how to play the game.
Yeah, it's certainly diving headfirst in, but yeah, again, definitely deserves some applause, I would say.
Thank you. Well, definitely looking forward to that to the next race. If it's going to be the next round, or maybe sooner than that, a casual run.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots going on, and you still got a couple of tournament matches in front of you, so there'll be no shortage of races, I assume.
Oh, there won't be any shortage, especially with how popular this is.
That's very true. Right. So, we're gonna let you go. Feel free to stick around if you want to. You don't have to. And I think this about wraps it up for us, unless...
Yeah, I don't believe there are any races scheduled coming up or anything, so I think that's going to be all for this channel for now. Yeah, again, we were talking about it earlier, but if you want to see more of these tournament matches, make sure you follow the Randomizer Mania, and all its sub-channels 2, 3, and 4, and the Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2, 3, and 4 channels. There's going to be a lot of Link to the Past Randomizer tournament matches going on. Also, make sure you give the runners, follows as well. Sakura's dropping the links right there. And yeah, thanks for everyone for hanging out, and for everyone who put in work, and to the viewers as well. Yeah, I'll end out. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, make sure to also follow Spoody Biscuit here and Jack from earlier, which Sakura just dropped the links also in the chat channel here. So have a good night, and I'll see you.
Can we get a link for Herpy here for coming in for the emergency backup as well? He deserves it.
Thank you very much, but it's fine.
Anyway, yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.